Welcome, 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 everyone, to the Commandant's chair, because I am no longer sitting in that other uncomfortable chair for the rest of a year. Yay! Welcome, everyone, to Adventures into Reality. Sit down in your chair, your couch, whatever it is that you are going to do, and just relax. Today is an open call-in show. Yes, that is a sewing machine behind me, because this is the excess spare room that I finally was able to clear out and not have to do everything from my one little tiny office. Now, we will be opening up calls in just a little bit. I just have to want to take a bit. I am now setting boundaries. Now, this is not to anybody individual. This is something to set off the energy of the year. Nothing happened on the 20th. I have stated for an entire year nothing was going to happen. The president was going to be elected. I have now stated since early 2012 nothing was going to happen. They're going to kick the can down the road. Now that nothing has happened, the Q-tards who assault me with messages, the military-tards, or any of the other conspiracy theorists, baby raping lizard wizards, shut the fuck up. Nothing happened. You got played. Go through your 5 stages of grief. Now, I open arms welcome you to come to these shows and experience what everyone else does. How to get back out of adrenaline land gland living, how to let go of the conspiracy world, find forgiveness in yourself, to rediscover the path to spirit that is available to everyone. I am not here to gloat, but at the same time, I'm setting my boundaries because the echo chambers are so horrible. Yesterday, I put up a post on Facebook that was meant to be quite nice, saying that we can't attack, that we must, and it was titled "Fall of the House of Trumperstan." Never quote the Raven, nevermore. Now, the Fall of the House of Usher is a Edward Allan Poe poem. If you've never read Edgar Allan Poe's The Fall of the House of Usher, I advise you to read it. It's a short little story, but it absolutely relates to Trump and the fall of Trumpistan. The Q-tards and all those other militia groups that believed paperwork was going to change the world, or the infinite amount of people that are telling me the United States corporation has gone bankrupt. No, it hasn't. It's still up and running. And for the rest of the people that reshared Lynn Wood's messages that we're going to have 2 weeks of power outages, all those people got so spun up, they're broken now. They are plain up broken. And now we must give them an opportunity to come here. But I'm setting my fucking boundaries. I've had enough of it. If you guys want to be in here, I welcome you with open arms. I welcome you so that you can take the journey here to rediscover who you are. I'm not here to attack you, but when the constant assaults that I don't agree with your point of view, I will never conform to what the fuck you say. I have my own view, been in my own view, and presented my own view for years and years and years and years. If it feels resonant to you, stay in and listen. If it doesn't, there's 1,000 other people out there that you can go and find. They won't be what I am. I am me. Now that I've set that boundary, I want to say there's a lot of people that have a reality to face ahead of them. And many of the people already in this room, you saw it coming with all these other people. There's many that are still saying it's going to happen on the 4th of March. It's the next conspiracy and the next conspiracy and the next conspiracy. We can't get through to those people. But the biggest thing that I saw was super spiritual people who call themselves shamans, call themselves coaches, and the only thing that's on their Facebook feed, on their Facebook roll, is election Trump, and an astrology sticker every now and then. I'm going to be blunt with you. If you're getting coaching from a spiritual person that's super political, you need to go find somebody else. They are going to take you down the wrong path. They are broken. They don't do the inner work. And I'm sorry to say this, but you need to use discernment at the next level. I'm not going to use a specific name, but there was a person who has coaching / spirituality in their name as a direct business with like 3,500 followers. And there's not one advertisement for her coaching, not advertisement of what she does. And I'm like, what has happened to all of these light workers? Okay. So Andrew, calm down. No, I'm worked the fuck up. Do you understand how many messages of assault messages I got from the Q-tards over one little post that was offering, hey, come on and join us. We all have to work together. It's to the point I'm now blocking anyone that's messaging forward me any Q-tard shit whatsoever. Any military shit, any political shit, blocked, done. Blocked, done. It's reached a point where you are now becoming vampiristic. Okay? And I'm not allowing that in my life. I am setting the boundary. Now that that's been said, this is an open call-in show. Talk to me whatever you want. If you are a Q-tard, okay, and you're going to tell me that the next and the next is coming, I'm going to hang the fuck up on you. Okay? But if you are a recovering Q person, and I'm not calling you a Q-tard, and want to ask, how can I see the reality differently? And I'm not going to promote my conspiracy, I will absolutely talk to you, absolutely help you, and just like every other caller that comes in, give you my fullest to help you rediscover your self-illumination. Now, with that said, we're going to ask people to go ahead and raise their hands. Click on the participants button if you are inside the Zoom room, and you can go ahead and raise your hand. If you are not inside the Zoom room and want to be a part of today's show where we select callers, I talk to the chat room, etc., you have to come to the Zoom room. So if you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or anywhere else and want to come in, all the information is there for you on the screen. You can even dial in from the phone, United States, Canada, United Kingdom, and Australia. So everybody, click that raise your hand. Now, for all the new people in the room, this is the way it works. I do not choose the callers. Robert, my producer, is the grand maestro of what's called the Wheel of Callers. He has his own system, and there comes a point where a lot of new callers try to private message me. Please don't private message me. I get hundreds of them and hundreds of them and hundreds of them. I can't read them all and read the chat room. Robert is the only one who chooses the callers, not me. Yes. Meow, meow. Now, I am fired up, and oftentimes for the people who have been regular listeners, when I'm fired up, it's an opportune time to get a roasting. So anybody that has previously experienced a Andrew roast and wants to have a roasting, great. But I am open to do anything. Just don't promote your conspiracy theory to me today. Okay? Robert, spin up one more thing. And we ask, and I absolutely repeat this, you could only call in once per month. I ask you to use the honor system. If you've called in and you've got in, please do not call in for another month. We've had a little issue, and I'm just addressing. Please give everyone a chance to call in. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who wants to have a conversation.
All righty. Greta, you're getting a signal to unmute.
Quetta, are you there?
Yes.
Hi,
Yes.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Montana.
Montana, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I love your straightforwardness.
Thank you.
Yes, I am pretty new to the show, actually, first time for the live call with you today, and really, I'm very, very grateful for it. And I want to ask some question about, I started to wake up about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and I think that, I really want to really completely wake up and working towards it. And I have a problem with my third eye. And it is something there that causes me headaches, and it feels like a drill inside it. It doesn't let me go into meditative state, and I try hypnosis. It doesn't let me go into the hypnosis. It's like it has own life. And I worked for so many years on it, tried all kinds of different things, and nothing seems to happen. And I would be so grateful if you put maybe pointed directions what I'm supposed to do about that.
Well, the first thing first, oftentimes when people try to activate their third eye, they're forcing a situation which makes your third eye close. And here, I'll use a metaphor.
Yeah.
When you're trying to make love to someone and you don't have any foreplay and you just walk in and take over, the third eye shuts down right away when you are demanding an experience. Oftentimes, people are trying to do meditations or this that are designed to open the third eye, and in fact, they're actually closing it. The third eye can only open if the energy in the body, mind, and spirit as a complex being are in alignment. Okay, you're getting headaches. That means you shouldn't even be trying to open it then.
You know what? I actually don't trying. When I started to wake up and I learned first time, I tried to open it, but then I just went in completely different direction. I actually trying more to connect with my heart. But every time I'm going down into the heart, that thing, the third eye starts to drill. It feels like a drill.
That isn't your third eye. That's something else going on in your frequency. Oftentimes when there's a drilling sensation, there is an internal character issue you haven't dealt with. Something that went on in your childhood or young adult that was traumatic, that's being suppressed, and it's trying to find its way out.
How do I find that part?
Let's be blunt. What was it like growing up?
So far I remember I don't have many memories from childhood, but a pretty good childhood,
Okay.
like a child's supposed to have. Yeah.
Where did you grow up in?
In Poland.
Okay. What about your dreams from your childhood? Do you remember nightmares?
No.
Have you ever had nightmares in your life?
What I did have?
Nightmares.
Yes, once in a while, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But you don't remember them pretty much?
No.
Okay, what about when you moved from Poland to come here?
I moved to Germany, from Poland to Germany and then here, so.
Okay, and how was that move?
I had a huge resistance to move, but afterwards I understand actually it was for my greatest good, yeah.
Okay, and what was the resistance?
Because I had all my friends there in Poland and kind of school and stuff. Like I was 15 years old when I was moving out of Poland. So, but pretty much, after a few months, half a year, my parents sent me back to Poland and I was actually glad I moved to Germany. So.
Okay. So the journey of understanding what's going on in your personal life is understanding the traumas. What traumas have you had?
I don't really had traumas in my life. Or let's say consciously do not remember any traumas.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, probably have, but I consciously don't remember any traumas,
Because you've avoided looking at them for so long. And now at this age that you're at and you're trying to discover awakening in your spirituality, you have to look at the stuff you brushed under the rug and walked away from. It's as simple as that. When you're getting this drilling energy and all that's going on and your daily work's not working for you, you've got to go inside and do the internal work.
Yes. The thing is, I'm not able to have any visuals. Like my inner vision is completely blocked.
You're not going to have vision because you're already avoiding what's going on in your reality. Vision is blocked. There are many people that don't have vision because sometimes mysticality doesn't come through vision. It comes through scent, taste, experiences. Yeah. Do not solely attach to having vision for vision. Because that's an expectation that will ultimately limit you. But as I've also said, there are things in your advice that you've avoided in your life that you've avoided, swept under the rug and walked away from so often, you don't even know what's under the rug anymore.
No, I would love to know what it is to take care of it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of career did you do?
I did carpentry for a while. And since I'm married, actually staying home right now and actually working on myself more or less. Yeah. Okay, actually, this is actually which I may wave into the whole thing. I'm trying to get into a modality of coaching, magnetic.
You're not ready to be a coach.
No.
But
at least I would like to finish the course, and that's why I just don't know where to go in my life, to what to do. Every time I tried to go into my own business, bad things were happening, like accidents and all kinds of things happening.
Sounds like traumas, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I just freaking cannot put my finger where to look for, where to find those traumas.
Start with the traumas of the business. Every time you go to succeed at something, the rug is pulled out from under you.
Yeah.
The support from friends and family that wasn't there. You got to be willing to look at it and heal those energetic wounds that are inside you, so that you can free up your spirit to give you more inspiration that isn't hidden by the wounds internally.
Mm-hmm.
I told you there was traumas there, and you didn't even identify that business can be a trauma. Absolutely, it's a trauma.
No, I didn't.
Because you've compartmentalized so much of yourself. One compartment can never cross over to the other, so you can't make pattern recognition.
Mm-hmm. So how do I approach that stuff? Let's say,
write it. You got to begin to start writing them down.
Okay.
All about the business, all the negative things that have gone on in business, and how did it affect your personal life?
Okay. And what I do afterwards?
Once you have a list, you go and you look at each one and go, how has this affected me? What can I do to release the energetic trauma I have stored? Okay. And this is where contract revocation, ritual, ceremony, and prayer that I talk about on my show all the time are the self-illuminated tools. They're waiting for you to pick them up.
Okay.
You're in Montana. Can you do an outdoor fire?
Yeah.
Have you heard me talk about outdoor fires and ritual and ceremony?
No.
Okay, well, listen to some more shows. There's a whole bunch of them on there about how to do a ceremony of what's called telling your story to the fire.
Okay.
And this is where you get to talk about your traumas, your dramas, and the victories of your life, and begin to learn how to purge out the negative energies and allow positive energies inside you.
Okay.
Yeah. The journey to self-discovery is still a know thyself. Okay. And knowing thyself means you're not hiding from the traumas that we've had or compartmentalizing them so we never look at them.
Yeah. That's why I was wondering why I do not remember much from my life in general. I just have a few things here and there, but really not really memories from it, And
because you've compartmentalized them to not be memories, quite literally. Okay. Because it's too hard for you to look at them.
Okay.
To actually put your cognitive mind to go, wow, people really betrayed me. I'm hurt from it. And you stuck it in a little box and walked away from it. Okay. And now all these years later, you got to open up the boxes and metaphorically dump them out. Look what's there and throw out the negative stuff and find the little diamonds that are left.
Okay. I'm actually doing this learning this thing, this magnetic mind, and it's a work with the superconscious where you like going towards what you want to create, and then you also look at your situation and go deep dive at whatever it is within me that it's sabotaging the whole thing for unlocking, and leave it to the superconscious for transmuting it.
Well, you can do that with your traumas. You could take what you're learning from that course and say, pick a business failure, and you write it down, all the reasons why it failed, all the things that went wrong, and you pick apart each sentence with the super consciousness.
Okay. Yeah, my question was if I can use that would be good.
Yes. Ritual and ceremony is the same thing. It's just a different technique that allows you to have a much more friendly relationship with your environment. Fire is one of the oldest magical tools that we all have a connection to.
Yeah.
It really has a way of luring out of us some of those things that have been hidden away for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the first shamans of the first world, fire was the first thing that taught them how to be shamans, how to cook the food, how to stay warm through the winters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a fireplace here, nice one with fire.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to go and do an outdoor fire, and don't make it small. Make it big.
Okay.
Don't be frugal on the wood. And I mean literally make a big fire.
Okay. We have a fire pit here in the garden, so
Great.
yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for calling in.
Yeah.
All right, Robert. Thanks it. All right, Robert. Let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Alrighty, Monj, you get a signal to unmute.
Monj, are you there? Going once. Going twice.
Hello.
Ah, you made it the last second.
Just about. I was like, panic.
Right.
Panic
Where are you
station.
calling? Great. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the UK, Birmingham.
Birmingham. Welcome
But
to the
in
show.
a UK accent, it should have been. Thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I have a couple of questions, if that's okay.
Sure.
I think one is, am I over the last 4 months? It would be good to get an idea if I am improving spiritually, advancing or improving. I'm not sure what the right word is. Am I going in the right direction or not?
Well, tell me a little bit about yourself so I can tune into you.
Okay. What do you want to know?
What do you do for a job? Do you have children? What
okay.
spirituality means?
Yeah. Okay. I do not have children. I work in IT as a job. Spirituality, I think, for me means probably just getting closer to my conscious and just trying to understand myself more. I've been trying to do some level of shadow work as well. Trying to observe myself as much as possible and trying to understand how I'm feeling, why I'm feeling like I do, even if that might not be great.
What do you do? What do you do for recreation that isn't spiritual?
Not much. Well, at the moment, because of lockdown,
first thing first. I get this a lot of callers. If you are a spiritual person with no non-spiritual recreation, it absolutely has to change. You have to put controlled, full effort and make sure that you have something that is a non-spiritual hobby, habit, whatever it is, because it helps make your spirituality so much better. The power of joy and happiness. Oftentimes, when people go so far into spirituality, they don't get the ritualistic joy and happiness out of it. It becomes a chore. And this is where people end up doing lots of work, but don't end up advancing as much as they want to. So what spiritual practices are you doing?
I think, like I said, I'm probably observing myself. I'm trying to observe myself as much as possible. I'd probably say not much meditation, like in terms of just sitting there and not doing a lot. If that's what it is, I kind of get all like my body goes all a bit weird when I do it for too long. That I just want to like shake a little bit. I don't know. It's a bit weird. If I kind of like do it more than I'd say about 15 minutes. I don't know. I probably don't do much meditation.
Listen, something's wrong with your body if you're shaking inside trying to do a meditation. Okay, so what spiritual practices you do? Looking at yourself, you can only do for so long.
Sorry, say that again, Andrew.
What other spiritual practices do you do? Are you there?
Maybe that's it. Yeah, no, I am. I'm just thinking, I'm not sure if I do anything else.
Do you do yoga?
No.
Okay.
No,
so
I don't.
I'll be blunt with you. In reality, you do nothing other than look at yourself and pretend that you're doing spiritual work.
Okay. That's probably why I've not advanced then.
Okay.
if that's what I haven't done.
Why are you pretending? Why can't you follow through? You just said that you get shaky when you're doing meditation.
When I say shaky, like I've just got a weird feeling in my body that I just need to like.
Because you're anxious and you're overworking the situation and not settling and not actually doing the practice. Meditation is meant to achieve silence. There are guided meditations that are visual journeys, but those aren't technically meditations. So you're just sitting there bored out of your skull. And that's why you're getting shaky.
I do kind of like, when I do them, I do kind of like follow like a guided meditation, and I don't just sit there when I do it. But
that means you're a follower and you're still not doing, you're not creating with your own mind. Have you done any of the contract revocations on my webpage?
Sorry, but a while ago, yes.
Okay. I'm going to give you the general understanding here. 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week is C plus effort. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week is B plus effort. 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week is A plus effort. The level of effort that you put in is the level of effort that you get out of it. Okay.
And but it's what you do with it as well, I guess.
And that's variety. One day might be meditation. If you're working at C plus, one day might be a 15-minute meditation. Another day is one contract revocation. Another day's maybe 15 minutes of a visual meditation, so on and so forth, until you're ready to get up to 30 minutes a day. And then you're ready to get up to 90 minutes, 6 days a week. You still have a day off. Mm-hmm. You still got to rest, recuperate, and recover. And I know mothers with 5 children from age 1 to 9 who can figure out how to get 90 minutes a day.
Okay.
You can too, but you have to sit down with what's called enthusiastic effort. And that's ultimately that's ultimately what you're missing right now.
Okay, I've got to say, I would say that I'm enthusiastic about it. Would you, Andrew? Would you not say that I've improved at all then?
No, you would have learned meditation. You would have learned silence. You would have applied all the other teachings that you've heard from other places. For some reason, your cognitive brain can't sit down, do the techniques, get the experience. Not only can I hear it in your voice, I hear it in the way you explain it to me of what you're doing.
Okay.
There's a part of you who thinks it's enough. But in reality, you've got to go several miles further into this serious nature of practicing it, still with enthusiastic effort behind them. I think what you're feeling is enthusiasm to be spiritual, but missing the how to implement the strategy with long-term enthusiasm. And because you don't really know the practices, you're assuming you're doing it right, but in fact, you're not. When you're doing it right, you immediately get experiences that you can journal about, write about, talk to other people about, and go, hey, finally the practice gave me something, and then get more enthusiasm back to do it again. So it's the self-fulfilling energy within you.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're in IT. What kind of IT do you do?
Software. It's kind of not specifically sales, but like pre-sales, so like a subject matter expert in software. It's not something I enjoy, to be honest, Andrew.
You sell software to people?
Yes, well, to clients, to companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
That right there is probably why you're having such a tough time. You've had to put a tremendous amount of your brain power to understand the nuances of the software so you could have a sales mind and a sales voice. And then being able to push the sale, even if you know it's a closed sale before you even call, you still have to do your due diligence. And that means a tremendous amount of your actual brain power is occupied by the job. Deep down inside, you know you can do the job with a half a brain, right?
I do normally, yeah.
But you're not. There's still something that is over loyal to the job. And you've got to
I've
start
always been like that.
the over loyalty to the job. You're putting 100% of your brain power in, and you got to start saying, every day I go to work, I'm reducing my overall brain power to 50%, because there's no reason I can't do this job at A+ energy with 50% of my brain. It's memorized software components and following through with the due diligence of a sale. So I can save 50% of my cognitive brain power to understand these techniques, make pattern recognition, and grow my life.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
I feel the genius in you and the over loyalty to the job. Okay, you don't like the job, great. At least it gives you enough cash to work on yourself now.
That's exactly what it's doing.
Okay. And now
Yeah.
you can start going into work every day and go, I can be a half a brain here today. That means I get to save a lot of this energy. So when I go home, I can do something that's truly going to benefit me.
I think that helps, because I've been stuck with, which would have been difficult anyway, should I leave my job because I feel like I'm just concentrating? I've always got that in the back of my head, even though I'm not working at 100%. I've always got, oh my God, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. You know, what if they're checking this? What if they're checking that? And I'm probably concentrating more on that than I probably should be on myself and, you know, and if anything else that I'm doing as well. So I've just been constantly toying with that. So if I do that split, just like you've said, I know I can do it. Well, I kind of do it at 50%, but be in that moment with the job and be in the moment when I'm looking at myself and just have that line, then that's probably going to help me, I think.
I will reiterate, there's an over loyalty to the job, and that's the micro thing you have to work on, because that's ultimately what drains you at the end of the month. So you don't have extra cognitive brain power to put it into the learning of the spiritual practices. Example, what it took for you to get that degree and get to that job is a lot of brain power.
Yeah.
Okay? All that brain power, all that CPU space is tied up, and you've got some bloatware in your brain right now that you got to get rid of. That's all that it is.
Okay.
You're overthinking the job, and allow yourself to save some mental CPU resources.
Yep. I totally see that now. Okay, that's great. Andrew, sorry, just another question. I don't know how much time I've got, but is there anything in my Akashic record that I think would be of benefit for me to know? That's probably a silly question, because you're probably going to say no, there isn't. But I don't know. Is there anything that's of interest? Shall I reword that?
Yes, there is. There has been a Spanish opera singer who from the very first word that I heard you speak, she was very present. And she was a Spanish opera singer in the mid 1830s to 1850s. And there's an internal operatic voice within you if you should choose to go and do some voice lessons. That will absolutely unlock brand new spiritual experiences for you. Do you like opera?
Okay. I wouldn't say I don't like it, but I like ballet, but I don't think I've ever been to an opera event, but okay, interesting.
Go to an opera.
I mean, I do like
go to an opera.
Yeah.
Man. And I know it's COVID, but you can rent them and some other stuff. And something else, that Spanish opera singer, she played with men. And there is a sexuality to rediscover within the power of the voice too.
Oh, sorry. I'm reluctant to ask, but what does that mean?
There's a way that your voice can be used that can have such a sexual alluring process to it. It will draw the men to you like a siren.
Oh, okay. Well, I definitely need that then. Okay.
You got to access some voice lessons then.
Interesting. I actually have been looking at that, just because sometimes I feel like I'm too quiet when I'm talking to people and people can't hear me. So I feel like I'm not projecting my voice enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only reason why I've been thinking about having some sort of like lesson to kind of project my voice, but only for that reason. But
I will tell you, your sales will go up. Do you get a commission? Do you get a commission at all?
Love it. Okay.
Yeah. Your sales will go
Yeah.
up. And it's not like a phone sex voice. I'm telling you, it's not. There is just going to be a quality of energy to your voice that allures people to your perspective and point of view.
Okay, interesting. Okay, great stuff. And I mean, one of the biggest things that I've always kind of like looked forward to doing is just some way, shape, or form of healing. I just want to help people, really. And
sound healing. You have an opera voice.
Oh my God, I was actually looking at that too recently. That was just one of many types of healing. But yeah, I have been that has been like kind of appearing. But that's just, I think it's because it's in general. Okay, that's very interesting. I'm going to have a look into that more.
It's synchronistically appearing for you.
Okay.
Don't sell yourself
and even
short.
more so today.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to. I think I'm hopefully getting better at not selling myself short. I think I'm improving in that. I've always been very, very self-critical previously. But yeah, I think I'm getting better at that. But yeah, no, that has been amazingly helpful. Thank you so much. I've got loads of things that I've taken out of that.
Yes. You're welcome. Now I got one little more nugget for you. Okay?
I'm excited. Okay.
How are you at the place that you're living right now?
That's so funny you should ask. So it's one of those things that I've always dreamt about. It's an apartment I got. I did it up myself, renovated it, and I love the look. It's exactly how I imagined it to be. But as soon as I did it up, I was like, I want to move on now. And I've just excessively been looking at getting, you're going to laugh, but one of those nice camper vans and just going somewhere. I don't know if I'm trying to run away. Someone said, "Oh, you're trying to run away?" But personally, I just think it's just another phase in my life if I do end up doing it. But I don't really know what else.
Okay, don't get a camper van.
Oh, okay. So I should stop watching all of those YouTube videos. Okay.
And I'll tell you why. You're in the midst of COVID, and you're going to get nothing but COVID attacks inside your camper van.
Oh.
Okay? If this wasn't COVID, my answer would be different. I would say sublet your apartment and take your camper van. Get a good Wi-Fi hotspot, and you can do your job and find a job where you can do from the road.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So, but then you say I shouldn't do that, right?
Not during COVID.
Okay, but otherwise,
if it wasn't
COVID,
because the amount of people and local cops that are going to be kicking you out of absolutely everywhere is ridiculous.
Okay.
So it's you won't have the freedom you're expecting. You're going to have COVID cops all over your ass. Okay.
So it's not that you're opposed to the idea. It's just not at this moment in time. But you think it's a potentially good move.
But you can buy one and fix it up like you did your apartment and spend a year really doing it well.
I've been looking. I'm just waiting for one of my friends because I'm not a great big vehicle driver. So I want to practice on a van driving it first. One of those extended base ones, practice on one of them, and then I'm going to make a move and buy one and probably hire someone to do it rather than me do it.
No. Listen to me.
Okay.
You need something that's comfortable, not something that's got a one bed, no bathroom. You need to make sure you have enough of the amenities.
Andrew, I know.
Okay.
I know. I'm all about not necessarily high luxury, but I need my basics, which is shower. But I've got all the layout, like a nice bed and a seating space. I don't want to make up my bed every single day. I want a nice oven. I want a grill. I want to be able to cook. So I've thought about it so much.
The amount of bankruptcies and businesses going bankrupt this first quarter is going to be ridiculous. I guarantee you will be able to find a top-notch camper van for 1/3 the price in the next 6 months.
Okay. Yeah.
And we're talking an almost new one, which will be 60, 70,000 new that you'll be able to get for 15 or 18.
Oh, Okay, so I should wait for that synchronicity then, I guess.
It's already there now. You just got to go out once or twice a month to the variety of the camper van sale places and start educating yourself.
I'm so excited. You've just like
Okay.
taken me to this next level. Okay, I'm really excited about all of this now, even more so than before.
Do you have any cash saved up?
I am just waiting for a sale to come through of my old apartment. It's just been stuck, but I think I've got some movement on it over the last few weeks.
Okay, well, as I said, the amount of bankruptcies, no one's going to be buying new camper vans. Okay, and if you take the time to learn how to drive a little bit bigger one and over the next 6 to 8 months, you could get yourself something that's top of the line, everything in it, and you have already practiced enough. And if I think COVID's going to pretty much be around till well into 2023, but you will be able to start weekend trips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be big for me. Yeah.
Okay. You will be able to start weekend trips, and then when you're really ready, sublet the apartment. So you make cash off the apartment, and it pays for you to be on the road. As long as it covers gas, food, and insurance, you can keep going and going and going.
My little adventures.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Thank you for calling
that's been
in.
perfect.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love it. Thank you.
Have a
Thank
great
you
day.
very much. Bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
Yep. All right. So let's, Robert, spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Okay, Jean-Pierre, you get a single.
Jean-Pierre, are you there?
I am here, present,
Hi.
and hi there, Andrew.
Hi, where are you calling from today?
Mill Valley, California.
Ooh, another Mill Valley, California. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Been enjoying all dimensions of what you've been presenting and listening to all these wonderful people present themselves. And I'm just curious about my Akashic Records. And just
okay. Tell me a little bit about yourself so I can tune in.
Okay. I wear a couple of different hats. I'm a food alchemist. I have my own personal chef business, which isn't doing too well at the moment. I'm also a builder, craftsman. I've done, worked with, mentored with a general contractor, and I've done building for quite a few years. I'm also a poet. And I also am currently working with a partner in doing some healing modalities, utilizing on my part biogeometry.
Okay. I'm going to be blunt. What's wrong with your heart?
What's wrong with my heart?
Yeah. You got to go into a truth factor here.
Mm-hmm.
What broke your heart?
Well, there have been a couple of different instances, but from both my stepfather, my mother just died recently, but that wasn't what broke my heart. It's just being the outcast, being the black sheep in the family.
I immediately felt it in your energy. And they were your adopted parents?
No, I was born and raised in Paris, France. My mother was an expatriate American who lived abroad and met another American. And then when I was 6, my parents divorced, and my mother remarried a diplomat. I was working at the American Embassy, and at 6, I got a new father, and then we moved to the Philippines, and my whole life got turned upside down. So that was a major traumatic experience for me.
I want to do a little healing technique with you.
Okay.
So I just want you to repeat after me. I, in this ever-present moment of now.
I, in this ever-present moment of now.
Choose to acknowledge my heart.
Choose to acknowledge my heart.
The pains that it experiences.
The pains that it experiences.
The dramas and traumas it holds on to.
the dramas and traumas it holds on to,
the stored energy in the pericardium.
the stored energy in the pericardium.
I now begin the journey
I now begin the journey
of letting go of this stored energy.
of letting go of this stored energy,
The passing of my parents
the passing of my parents,
and any betrayals I've experienced
and any betrayals I've experienced
are washed away from my heart.
are washed away from my heart
Like the waves on the ocean beaches,
like the waves on the ocean beaches,
eroding the drama and trauma,
eroding the drama and trauma
like a sandcastle in the wave,
like a sandcastle in the waves,
pulling it out to the great ocean of awareness,
pulling it out to the great ocean of awareness,
freeing me of this emotional weight
freeing me of this emotional weight
so I may rediscover the beauty in myself
so I may rediscover the beauty in myself
and restart my alchemist business
and restart my alchemist business
with the magic from the heart.
with the magic from the heart.
I empower these healing hands
I empower these healing hands
with a free heart,
with a free heart,
a free mind,
a free mind,
and a free soul,
a free soul,
so I may divinely co-create with spirit
so I may divinely co-create with spirit
and move on with my life
and move on with my life
as the divine being I am.
as the divine being I am.
Aho.
Aho!
How does that feel for you?
Oh, well, one of my animal names is big-hearted Mujequis, which I feel it in my heart.
Okay.
I feel it in my heart, and that's been my part of my task in this lifetime,
Okay.
is to be in my heart.
What kind of food alchemy do you do?
All kinds. I mean, I've been a chef for almost 30 years, and working in different aspects of the hospitality industry. But personal chefing is more my style.
What is your special things you like to cook that is
I
on
love
that
to
alchemy level?
Right. I love Asian cuisine.
Okay.
Asian cuisine is Thai food is I really enjoy that. I love working with just rustic comfort food as well.
Okay. What is your favorite meal to cook?
I love a good pot roast. I mean, it's the pot au feu, real simple, real. It's not very fancy. I can do the fancy shit, but this is just something that really brings me close to my heart.
Okay.
And it's nurturing and nourishing at the same time.
The shaman within you and the spiritual practitioner within you has to marry the chef, and you have to offer the wedding ring to the chef. And I use this as the metaphor. There is something about your chef skills, your alchemy skills, and your shamaning that absolutely can be its own business. Where instead of personal chefing, you're training people how to be shamanic cooks.
Yeah. I've actually started doing, when I was part of a men's group, I would staff at some of the retreats, and I brought that into the kitchen. I would have like
did.
Tibetan bowl. Yeah, okay.
Okay. You need to figure out how to marry the shaman and the chef. And you've got to do the ceremony of wedding yourself with a ring and everything. Till death do us part, may the chef and the shaman be aligned. Okay?
Wow. Mm-hmm.
No more separation.
Yeah.
The chef has the
Yeah.
recipe book, and the shaman's got the magic. Okay?
Yeah.
Figure out how to marry the two. Okay? I'll give you a suggestion. Find a friend that can operate a video camera, even if it's just a cell phone video camera, and do an outdoor cooking series.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Raw, human, shaman, fire. Okay?
Yeah.
And then do
And I
another
love,
one.
and I
Okay?
love the telling the story to the fire.
Right.
That's a big thing for me. I mean, that was, that's
And
always been.
make a teaching series.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you put those out as free, and then you offer online classes for individuals who want to marry the shaman chef. I talk about on this show all the time, and you are the
Yeah.
perfect example of the shaman and the chef. You just have to put the wedding ring on
Yeah.
and say, I do.
Wow.
You've got a construction background. It means you can make just about anything.
I can.
You can have a bread oven. You can have a pizza oven. You have an outdoor cooker. You have a spit grill. Every style of cooking you can do, from the
Yeah.
super quality French stuff to those presses that squeeze the juice out of the duck.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And there's alchemy in them too.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the name of my personal chef business is Alchemy Cuisine. So it's definitely part of who I am. And I recognize that, Andrew. I recognize that. It's just I get stuck.
The ritual, the ceremony, and the prayer have to be about a part of the cooking. Those two have to marry together.
Yeah.
So the cookbook and the recipe book has to go prayers that you do before, prayers that you during, prayers that you after. They are a part of the ingredients and the mixing process.
See, I've already started that. I've already done that on my own through trusting my own process.
Now add it to the recipe, the individual recipes. Okay. And let's just for the metaphorical sake, you're healing chicken soup. What makes your healing chicken soup?
It's the love and energy that I put into it, and the prayers that I because I pray over my food when I'm preparing, and
you've just got to verbalize those prayers into text, so that they have an actual text format to put into their process.
So it's almost in a way like your spiritual contract revocations, to name it to claim it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, except you're going to do it food version
for food for
yeah.
Wow.
Okay, and it's not like you're teaching them how to do toast and freaking scrambled eggs.
No.
You're going to want them to be alchemists.
Well, that's when I did these retreats that a lot of them didn't know how to cook, but I was able to step back, but to create the space for them to do their, through what I taught, what I shared, a different angle, and instead of just slinging food together and putting it out there, it's like, no, there's, we get together before we have a little prayer, then, a little just bringing the consciousness and the intention, creating the intention.
You just got to take that structure you've just talked about and put it down to paper and integrate it into the recipe and ingredients list. Having this type of prayer is a part of the ingredients.
Yes.
When to do it is a part of the recipe process. That's all you got to do. You've got all the vision there. The shaman in you has taught you this already. That's why I say literally you got to put the wedding ring on. The shaman has to give the chef the wedding ring and say, we're married till death do us part. Okay? And I give you that metaphor because you literally have to marry the two. You may have done it here or there, but that's just, the sex before the marriage. Okay?
I love it.
Okay?
Wonderful. Yeah.
have a pot roast wedding feast.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're all invited.
You're all invited. We're gonna have an on-load pot roast. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
I did. Great. Well, thank you so much. I thank you for your work, and thank you for reflecting back to me.
You're welcome. You're right on the edge of great success. That's why as soon as I heard you talk, what's wrong with his heart? He shouldn't be there. Don't avoid it anymore. Don't avoid the pains, traumas, and betrayals.
No, I've done a lot of work.
Go take them head on. Maybe you
Yeah.
need to do a betrayal quiche.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Right.
Okay. And
Yeah, I
talk
hear
about
you.
all the betrayals. Put it into the ingredients.
Mm.
Okay. Get it out of you. Cook it out of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've already done. I already have that process because I do. Are you familiar with what morning pages are?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
So
quite familiar.
I've been doing. I do that. That's my spiritual practice. And also, I've in my poetry, I've printed. I've got 2 books that I've made, and I've learned poetry has been another way to let things out.
Yes.
So this is just another component.
Yes. And somebody is saying et tu brute souffle. Thank you, chat room.
Bravo.
Et tu brute, that is from
Touche.
Jamie Suss. Thank you so much. That's outstanding.
Du souffle.
Okay. And tap into that stuff.
Yeah.
Because you're going to teach the shaman chefs how to make their et tu brute souffle.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to help them get rid of their backstabs and betrayals. Betrayal borscht. Thank you, Lisa. Okay.
Nice. Okay, good alliteration.
Literally break it down to the descriptive adjectives from the food to the healing side of it.
Wow. See,
Okay.
that's been I resonate with that because that seems to be the missing component that I've been looking for. It's
Right.
it's like, where's that cog? I'm missing there's a cog that needs to be here. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it looks like, but there's something that needs to be in place in order for me to move.
Here's
it.
one for you. Shunned sushi. Okay. the audience is giving you it here.
I know. I want a I want a Thelonious monkfish with a jazzy sauce.
There you go. And Felonious monk with jazzy sauce, but it's really about the hermit.
Right, exactly.
Healing hermit baguette.
Mm-hmm. Well, the larder is the limit.
Hermit crab. Aha, ha, ha. Hermit crab etouffee. Okay.
Yes.
Go forth, marry your chef and your shaman, and I'm telling you, your business is going to expand. And you're going to take on individual clients in individual coaching situations where it's shamanic and cooking teaching married together with the recipe and the ingredients that allows the mystical ingredients and recipe to be included throughout the journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Imbuing those wonderful subtle energies.
Mm-hmm. So tell me something else about yourself.
I'm a kind man.
I know that already. Come on. What mystical experiences would you like to share with the audience? I know you have them. Allow the shaman to come forward. Be at the metaphorical fire and tell us a story, brother.
Actually, when I have a son who's 33 years old, almost, and when I saw him, I was at his birth and cut his umbilical cord. Too soon, though. But I I felt like I connected with him. He looked at me, and I could just right then and there. I was 25 years old at the time, and I just saw him, and I just felt this rush of this connection that just blew me away. And yeah,
Birth of a child.
birth of a child. It was unexpected. I didn't know, yeah. And I'm
Oh,
scared shitless.
you're going to make a childbirth pot pie. Okay.
Oh boy. I'm gonna have to write down these names.
Okay. Or for the women that are trying to get pregnant, fertility souffle.
Mm.
Okay. Or fertility stir fry.
Fertility foie gras.
Oh, even better, fertility foie gras.
I see somebody said fetal foie gras. um,
Powerful energies are flowing through you right now. Revel
Yeah,
in them. Absolutely
yeah.
revel in them. Bring them to the tips of your fingers and toes and let your body shake with joy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this past year has been just a continual, incredible opportunity. I mean, lockdown is the best thing that happened to me.
I call COVID the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's like, wow. And here it is, just in light of, what I call the grand clamoring. And it's beautiful. I mean, I'm just reveling in it and finding my own path and really trusting my own, trusting my own plan, but trusting what is right for me. And I started taking your Living the Mystic Life daily course. So I'm really, that really is resonating with me. And I've recorded a few revocations already and played them back. And it's like, wow, just to hear it in my own voice. It's like, it's very powerful to me.
It's there for you to use so you can see yourself in the great power that is you.
And it's always been in front of me the whole fucking time.
Now give yourself the wedding ring.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Make it a ritual and ceremony of marrying the chef and the shaman. And you don't need a wedding dress, don't worry.
Well, I have some good outfits.
There you go.
Awesome.
All right, brother. Thanks a lot for calling in. You've been a great teacher to a lot of people.
Oh, well, thank you, brother. And thanks to everybody else for their support. Love all of you. Thank you so much.
You're
Blessings.
welcome.
Ciao, ciao.
Wonderful. All right, Robert, let's spin up the et tu brute souffle wheel of collars and see who's next.
That movie, Like Water for Chocolate.
Yes.
Watch out what you're doing when you're making a stew. All right, Mina, signal to unmute.
Mina, are you there?
Hello.
Hello, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Wisconsin.
Welcome to the show. What did you think about our callers today?
The last one, I kind of cried.
Aw.
Yeah, it was really good.
So what did you want to talk about today?
I've been kind of lost lately. I just don't, it seems like I was kind of holding everything in, and then the past couple months has just been all slapping me in the face.
Okay. What's been slapping you in the face?
Just old traumas I've had since I was a little girl and stuff.
What kind of traumas?
Well, I was born addicted to heroin and cocaine and alcohol, and I was in foster care, and I was abused and neglected. Just a lot of stuff. Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 20 years old.
Okay. Like I did with the last caller, I want you to do a little healing energy on you. So I just want you to repeat after me.
Okay.
I, in this ever present moment of now,
I am a ever present, a moment of now.
choose to acknowledge the pains of the past.
Choose to acknowledge the pain of the past.
I allow them to bubble up into my aura
I allow them to bubble up in my aura
in a way that does not create fear,
in a way that does not create fear,
but allows me to see them what they are.
but allows them to, what was that?
To
Sorry.
see them for what they are.
To see them for what they are.
Ways of learning.
The ways of learning.
How I must love myself.
How I must love myself.
Even through these pains and traumas.
Even through these pains and traumas.
That have bubbled up into my aura.
That have bubbled up in my aura.
When I was neglected and abused.
When I was neglected and abused.
I refill that space.
I refilled that space.
With the love of me now.
With the love of me now.
I love myself enough.
I love myself enough.
To go deep into my soul.
To go deep into my soul.
To find the most wounded me.
To find the most wounded me.
And love her.
And love her.
In such a way.
In such a way.
That it melts away the pain.
That it melts away the pain.
The fear.
The fear.
So I may have the courage.
So that I may have the courage.
To face who I am.
To face who I am.
A powerful woman of today.
A powerful woman of today.
No matter how I was born.
No matter how I was born.
No matter what I was addicted to.
No matter what I was addicted to.
I am a thriving being today.
I am a thriving being today.
I am a divine feminine incarnate now.
I'm a divine feminine incarnation. What was that?
Incarnate now.
Incarnate now.
Born into these legs.
Born into these legs.
To use these arms.
To use these arms.
To embrace with love this world.
To embrace this love, this world.
So I am a divine feminine warrior.
So I am a divine feminine warrior.
Who uses love.
Who uses love.
To stop the pain.
To stop the pain.
So the golden energy within me.
So the golden energy within me.
Can be refined.
Can be refined.
In such a way I may share this light with others.
In such a way I may share this light with others.
It is my birthright and legacy.
It is my birthright and legacy.
To understand my past.
To understand my past.
So I may heal my present.
So that I may heal my present.
So I can accept a future.
So I can accept a future.
Pain-free, trauma-free.
Free, trauma-free.
Thriving with the genius mind.
Thriving with the genius mind.
Finding what fulfills me in life.
Finding what fulfills me in life.
Aho.
Aho.
How did that feel?
I'm really shaky right now in my ways of
it moved a lot of energy through you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. Let the tears out. Don't hold them back. It's your birthright and legacy to cry through some of these.
Yeah, I have trouble expressing my emotions. I am on the spectrum, and it's like when I want to cry, I just start laughing, like it's just all mixed up. So,
It's okay.
okay.
What do you do for a job?
Well, I'm out of work right now, but I'm in this program and they're going to help me find a new job. I previously worked at a factory and it was just horrible. I had to get out of there.
And that's pretty much all the types of jobs you've done?
No, I was a dishwasher. I worked at a nursing home. I worked at a little crystals shop, the town I lived in.
You live in a small town now?
Yeah.
Why are you living in a small town?
Well, I used to live in a city and then I was younger and my mom moved to a really small town. So I slowly trying to build enough money to move. I have moved to a different town, but it's still close to where I was living before.
How far away are the bigger cities?
30 minutes.
Okay, so it's not like you're terribly far away.
No.
As you get a new job, I want
Mhm.
you to consider to actually moving into the city.
Okay.
Okay? How far into the city is going to be up to you. It will make a huge difference in your growth right now.
Okay.
Right
Yeah.
now, you're very limited on the types of people that you can meet that can help you grow through your life. And you need a bigger opportunity to meet more. You're too remote right now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I got so mad when she moved me here because it's a lot of racist people and I just got bullied a lot for my race and stuff, and they're really like small town. Everybody, if you don't look like them, they just yeah.
Just shit. Yeah, they just shit on you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hmm.
That's why you got to move. As you get the money, it's just time for you to go, to be around your more real people.
Hmm.
Okay?
Hmm.
Have you done any of the contract revocations on my webpage?
I have been trying to look at some of them up, but I couldn't find any. I only found just like a couple.
Okay. You go to my website, andrewbartzis.com, and click on the tab that says Insights.
Okay.
And there you'll see 7 of them there for free for everyone. If you sign up for the email list, you'll get the heart meditation and the sanctuary for all souls, which are 2 more for you to practice. And then if
Okay.
you're on Facebook, you go to Friends Who Like Andrew Bartzis, and you'll see a whole bunch of documents that are saved there that are from the shows and from different things are also there for free. And this is for everyone that's out there. There's probably
Okay.
80 pages worth of stuff spread throughout all those things for you to practice for free.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you. And I have one other question.
Sure.
I've been trying to find out what I should do and what I like to do. And ever since I was little, I always wanted to be a singer and stuff. But my junior year, I started going down that Illuminati crap, and I decided I didn't want to become a singer. It's just not, you don't have a lot of privacy, and I've been struggling ever since what I should do. And I'm really good at art and singing, but I kind of tried going back to when I was really little, what I always wanted to do. And it's kind of weird, but I always was fantasized about being a witch and stuff. I just, ever since I was little, I was attracted to crystals, and I didn't really know about that back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I could always also see, I guess, spirits and stuff when I was little. So I just,
What do you read books?
I have dyslexia, and have learning disabilities. I can't really like read very well, but I always wanted to learn how to do it.
Well, there's one book that I recommend for everyone that's new to the spiritual journey, and it's called Dancing the Dream by the author Jamie Sams, Jamiesams.
Okay.
I highly recommend you buy this book, and it will become your new Bible to spirituality.
Okay.
It will teach you so much about yourself.
Okay.
Okay? It'll be the
Okay.
best $12 you ever spent on yourself.
Okay.
No, I listen, I have a learning disability. I'm fully dyslexic. You can absolutely overcome this dyslexia. Absolutely, you can. It's one book. Okay? And if it
Okay.
takes you a month to read it, it takes you a month to read it. But I'm telling you, if you give this book the time, it will pay you back immensely. And when you read it a second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and seventh time, you will see it speak to you in brand new ways.
Okay. And what was the book called again?
Dancing the Dream
Okay.
by Jamie Sams.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? And as I said, there's all that free material for you to practice.
Okay.
As for you about wanting to be a witch, there
Mhm.
is a shaman inside you,
Okay.
but you got to learn how to practice.
Yeah.
You got to learn daily practice and discipline.
Mhm.
That's why I put those contract revocations out there for you to practice 1 or 2 a day, 5 days a week, until you understand that everyday practice is the discipline, because it's what helps fortify your reality.
Mhm.
And once your
Yeah.
reality is fortified, you can begin to deal with some of the emotional traumas, like the little system that I had you go through. That's a combination of me reading your energies, but at the same time, it's a part of the daily practice that I did it within myself, so that I would draw up my deepest dramas and my deepest traumas, so I wouldn't avoid them. I
Okay.
learned by facing them head on with a joyous heart, I could heal just about anything.
Thank you.
You are an immensely powerful girl, and that's why you were traumatized at a young age.
Yeah, I kind of always knew, even when I was little, I'm like, I know I'm powerful. I know I can do something, but there's something always there. I don't know if it's an aura or something.
It's spirit.
Yeah,
It's spirit.
it always blocks me off. Like you say, get on a pattern. I always get on a pattern for 3 days, and I feel on top of the world, and every information goes to me, and then it just blocks me, or something really bad happens.
Yes. You got to let go of the Illuminati. You got to let go of the conspiracy and no longer make them relevant to your greater growth.
Okay.
They're inconsequential to your journey now. Your journey is rediscovering the joy of being a soul in a body, rediscovering the joy of music, rediscovering the joy of being the magical practitioner.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Just get out there and live, darling.
Okay.
Get out of that little podunk town, get away from the racists, and find
Okay.
yourself a new place to live when you can afford it.
Okay. Thank you. And is there anything else?
At this stage right now, that's enough for you.
Okay.
Okay. I would recommend that you go back and listen to this little session we did, and maybe write down the words I had you say and redo it several times a week.
Okay. Thank you.
Because you got to learn how to love yourself in a whole new way. And when you
Yeah.
learn to tap into that golden love and flow it through your body, you can break down the most resistant of traumas.
Okay.
All right, darling. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Thank you too.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
I shall. Thank you.
Thank
Another very powerful caller today. Man, we're full of them today. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
All righty. Let's see. Brittany D.
Brittany D. Are you there?
Yes. Can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yes, I can. Where are you calling from today?
Hey, Andrew. I'm calling from Utah.
Utah. Welcome to the show.
I actually called you about, I think it was like a year and a half ago. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you about my dream I had last night about you.
Okay, tell us about it.
So like, I think it was like me and you, and it was kind of like the Great Awakening time where there's all like, now there's polarization, but it was like extremely bad to the point that like people were getting shot and stuff. I mean, people are getting shot, but you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It got like worse. And there was this part in my dream where you stomped on a laptop, like you were just really angry. I just thought it was funny because of what you were saying in the beginning of the show, and just, yeah, it was just funny. So I just wanted to ask you, because I'm having some issues with meditation, and it's kind of stupid because like I've been on the spiritual path for probably like 7+ years, and it's just one of those areas that I have fear around it. When I try to meditate alone, I almost get into that space where you're kind of like almost like in a trance, but you know what I mean. And I get scared, and I immediately stop.
What are you afraid of?
Entities. I think it has to do with childhood. And
why do you say it with a laughter?
Because it's kind of silly. I think it's silly, I guess. I don't know, honestly.
If it's silly, you could easily get through it, but it isn't. You're using laughter because there is a deep fear that you'll get taken over if you allow yourself to be open to spirit.
Exactly.
Because at some point you were hijacked and you know it, and it took you a long time to get yourself back. This is why protecting the four corners of your bedroom, the four corners of your room, as a regular ritual and ceremony allows you to build the confidence to let down. Okay?
Okay.
Now, I also recommend that people do not do their daily meditations in the bedroom or the bed that they sleep in. That also means you need to prepare another spot where you put your blessings and energy around, so that when you sit in that particular chair or that particular spot, you have that protected energy as a secondary trust factor so that you can let down. When you have a fear like it is that's grown to the level it is right now, it means you're just sticking your toe in the water to spirituality. That means there are plenty other places the fear has crept into you. That means ritual and ceremony, fortifying your reality, is the begin you learn to trust the environment that you're in.
Okay. So I have done the four corners. I didn't really exactly know what to put in them. I put black tourmaline stones that I read the contract revocations to, and then I did them around the yard as well. And I've buried the ancestral soups and stuff like that. But I'm just wondering, how often do I need to kind of like read the revocations to
the bedroom? You should do at least 2 days a week.
Okay.
Okay. The house every 3 months, every 2 to 3 months. You got a kid in there, so maybe every 6 weeks.
Okay.
Now, the outside of the property, twice a year.
Twice a year is in the ancestral soups,
Yes.
putting those burying. Okay.
But you should also do an ancestral soup solely on why you're afraid of spiritual practices and being hijacked.
Oh my gosh, I haven't done that yet.
You can make a soup solely to heal the internal gut and the fear that's inside you about it. So you're going to be making an ancestral soup that's really a protection soup.
Okay. I hadn't even included that in any of my ceremonies yet. So thank you for that.
It's okay. Sometimes fear stops us from seeing what's right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's okay. Now, usually you've already done soups. That means your hands and foot above half the other posers in the audience. Haha. Okay, they haven't done one yet. Okay.
So I also was going to do the float tanks here soon, and I'm just because I've understood now what you were meaning about the adrenal fatigue and stuff like that. So I'm just wondering, like, what's the amount of float tanks that would be good for someone to heal their nervous system, I guess, if that's the purpose.
So do one first. Have you done
I've
one
done
yet?
a couple, yeah.
What did they do for you?
The first one, I just was kind of laying there and kind of zoned out a little bit. And I don't know. The first one, it was hard to get comfortable. My neck was hurting. The second one was a little bit more. I had this moment where I was almost like I was doing Tai Chi or something with my hands. And
that's called unraveling negative energy.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay. The body will resort to feeling it's back in the womb. And what it's doing is going to help you unravel the energy that prevents you from getting there. Okay. The float tank will also is the great neutralizer to negative entities too.
Oh, awesome.
When you learn how to ride the float tank like a motorcycle, you'll be able to enter the deep theta and the deep delta states. And that hour in there will be equivalent to 8 hours of a power nap, but at the same time, having visualized dreams happening at the same time. And what is enough? I do 2-hour floats and sometimes 3-hour floats when I go in, but I've also been doing them for 15 years. In the beginning, it's variety, getting in there as often as you can. What I say is most of these float companies have memberships where you get 4 or 5 floats a month for one rate. Go and get that monthly membership and make sure you use them all every month.
Okay. I was planning on doing like one every week for like 12 weeks.
Well, if you have does the one place you go to have a membership package?
Yeah, he's going to do it.
What is the package? What, six per month?
He's going to do 12 for $500.
Okay, is there an actual monthly membership package?
Yeah, he just said they're like $50 a float, and then there's another float place near me that's they have like 10 floats for $425, and then their monthly floats are like $40 or $50, and they're like $40.
Yeah, so you get a significantly reduced rate when you get the membership.
Okay.
Okay, that's what you want to do. It's the most biggest bang for your healing dollar. What's the maximum number of floats that I can get? And it's not for 12 and done. So I can keep going and going and going.
That's where I was like, okay, let me just, dang it. Okay.
So get the membership and go.
Okay.
Okay. If you get 6 per month, that allows you to do 1 a week and sometimes twice a week. Or 3 in a week if you can schedule it and then take a week off. Okay. Or you'd schedule longer floats. Like I said, I go up to 3 hours. I've done a 6-hour float too, and I've done longer floats too.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Now, do you think that the floats in any way can help with enmeshment trauma and things like that?
100%.
Awesome. Okay.
Because you can bring in the spiritual techniques into the float.
Okay.
A lot of float companies allow you to play music. There's no reason you can't play contract revocations and guided meditations.
Oh, awesome. Because I was thinking about doing the heart meditation while I was in there.
I know thousands of people that do the heart meditation when they're in the float, and they end up having such mystical experiences. They come out of the float like being reborn.
Oh, man. That's so cool.
Okay. You can do all the techniques that I have inside the float because they're meant to be done out loud in your recorded voice. And then when you're in that float, you are in that mystical space where you feel like a fetus in a womb again.
Yeah, that actually came up for me last time too. Was the sort of visualization of the fetus in the womb.
Right.
And then the only other thing I really wanted to ask about personal questions was
Okay, go ahead.
any galactic history that may be important for me to know about. I mean, kind of where I'm going with this is due to kind of the enmeshment trauma. I feel like it helped with me knowing myself better, I guess, and who I am as a person.
Yeah, there's I gotta be blunt. So right away, there's a couple sex worker lifetimes that have come up into you.
Okay.
One where you're in London, England in the 1700s, and you're essentially a prostitute to the high level elite there. And it got to the point where sexuality was very uncomfortable to you. And you were forced into ritual sexual magic that you didn't want to be a part of. And when you passed on that life, some of that trauma is being revisited on you.
Mm-hmm.
And that you need to rediscover a magical relationship with sex for yourself.
Okay.
Has it been a challenge for a while now?
Yeah, actually, I've never really been able to have like a full on like orgasm from
Okay.
someone else, or I mean, it's always been just kind of like, you know.
Are you in a relationship now?
Yes.
And what is it like with that partner?
He really tries really hard, and he'll do whatever for me, and it's me. I've got that.
What makes you stop it?
It's almost like I feel insecure about myself or something. I think
Insecure because you're still afraid of reaching meditation. That means at some point at a young age, when you were in a mental fantasy state, you fell in love with one of your fantasies and it would turn out to be a ghost, more than likely. And ever since then, you don't trust your fantasy land.
Okay.
When you were a young girl, did you fantasize about men and masturbate?
No, when I was a little girl, I used to have dreams that I would have sex with monsters so they wouldn't kill me.
There you go. That's the trauma. That's the trauma. And like the last person, you've got to begin the journey of releasing that. And you got to sit down with your partner and go, what I need to do is make sex sacred for me. So I need to make it a ritual and ceremony. Do you have the sexual revocation that I've talked about on the show?
Is it in their file somewhere on the Friends of Andrew Bartzis?
Yeah, I'm sure it's absolutely
website?
On there. Yes.
I'll go find it on there. I haven't read that one yet, though.
It's the sexual treatment. That one's going to really help you.
Wait, the one where the girl she's sprayed with alcohol and she's pulling the hooks?
No, that's a different one.
That's a different one? Okay.
That's a different one, but you could use that one too.
Okay.
Okay, but in this particular situation, just like you would protect the four corners of the bedroom, you have to make a new one that allows you to feel safe to be naked, safe to be loved, and safe to give love, safe to be able to be touched, and safe to be able to be aroused, safe to be able to let go enough that your soul will not get kicked out of your body, and that the orgasm is meant to in deeper your connection to your body. Robert has put it inside the chat room. If you're inside the chat room, just click on it. You can download it.
Okay.
Okay. And I highly recommend you use this often, and you have your husband read it to your partner, read it to you, and you read it back to him, so that you can enter a sympathetic and in a syncopated process where the trust is so important. Now, in the past, you had nightmares of having sex with monsters. That's a hijacked sex world at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you got to begin to purge that out of you. You purge that out of you, meditation will become far easier again, because it's the same issue. Whenever you enter the theta state where magic can happen, the previous traumas are affecting you.
Okay.
Okay? You got to be willing to truly make sex sacred so that you can begin to practice your version of sexual magic.
Okay.
Okay? I know you've tried everything under the book, but what you haven't tried is making it sacred.
You're right.
And be willing to cry into an orgasm. Okay? Where you're crying out all the demonic things that did things to you, while you know that the partner you love is inside you, using their light energy to help you purge it out of yourself and to be sexually healed by the communion and union of the two of you. Because it is absolutely your birthright and legacy to exist in that beauty and light.
Wow. Another thing that came up for me was one day you were talking about the thunder beings, about calling them into the winter ceremony right before, this was like right before the winter solstice this last year. And it was really weird because I had dreams about looking out my window and seeing these thunder beings dancing in the sky. And there was another dream about me getting struck by lightning like a couple weeks before that. So I was just wondering, it was just really synchronistic with you mentioning it, if there was any connection to that.
Lightning beings in a vision or in that meditation or in that prayer are about available and usable energy, and to not just let it be a gift unwrapped. You can call those lightning beings into your energy field to get you into that aroused state or to get you over the hump into the orgasm. But you got to be willing to be in that prayer process during actual penetrating sex, so that you're even using contract revocation. That's why I said you got to talk with your partner about it. This may seem weird, but this is a journey that will help me make that sacred energy. And then actually record yourself in the semi-arousal state, so that when you go back and listen later, can I feel myself be turned on? And these aren't sex tapes. These are you learning about the arousal states you're going through.
I see.
Okay? Because reconnecting to sensualism is just as hard as the sexual part. You can be sensual, but you have a very hard time of receiving sensual.
Yes, I do.
Okay? You've got to start receiving the sensual touch of your partner's love. And be willing to use a revocation that says, I am now open to sensual touch from my partner while he's inside me. I allow his hands to touch my breast. I open my breasts up to this energy, for I trust this partner that is here. And be willing to say it in the out loud name it to claim it system. And then after you get good at it, literally record yourself during sex saying this stuff, so at a later time you can go into that meditative state and feel the energy in you.
Okay.
So that the next time you go to do it, you know you're not putting on a performance and actually feeling.
Exactly. Okay, I totally get what you're saying.
Okay. Your husband's gonna like it. It may be a little weird at first, okay? But he's tried a lot with you. Give him credit.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, those are all the questions that I have for you. So, I mean, this is amazing. I think this is going to definitely push forward a lot of
something else to note. They sell solid crystal dildos.
My boyfriend mentioned, he showed me one day.
Okay. You may want to get one.
Okay.
Okay.
Rose quartz.
Whatever you want.
Okay.
Or get a variety. Okay.
Okay.
Get a variety. Don't be afraid of doing sex magic. Don't be afraid, because it's what's going to get at your core, purge out those negative experiences, and allow you to enter a whole new state.
That's so awesome. Quick question. Can every woman squirt? I haven't heard you talk.
Yes, every woman can squirt. It's understanding the turning on process. And so many women think that it's urine. It is not. There are actually sacs there that fill up with juice. The juice can be a variety of shapes and colors. It can look like thick white mucus, or it can be like a half-gallon spray or gallon spray. Okay? Every woman can squirt. It is absolutely the turn-on process. There's a visceral process that women go through when the sensual touch sends waves of energy to their vagina that then activates the glands to produce this juice. And that juice is pure vibratory energy in direct manifestation. It's not pee. It's not pee. And it's not pee. And all the people in the chat room, it is not pee. It has its own set of ducts to express the stuff out of it.
So then if it is pee, you're doing it wrong.
You're not peeing. It's actually impossible for a woman to pee during that process. And the ducts actually shut down.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it. Well, thank you so much, Andrew. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, darling. Thanks a lot for calling in. Get the crystal dildo. Do the sex magic. Okay?
I will.
I don't often get to say that on my show.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. And it's not pee.
Yes, not pee.
Not pee. All right, darling. Thank you for calling in.
Yep.
All right, Robert. Is Monty around?
He's been in the chat. Let's bring him up. Monty.
Hello from the future.
Hello from the future. It is not pee.
Thank God for that. Kind of awkward.
Yes, kind of awkward. How are you doing, Monty?
I am tired. Last night, because time difference, so work with me here. I went to sleep. My body said, you nap now. And I had a 2-hour nap and then woke up at 10:30 at night. I'm like, I'll just go to sleep. So short story, I've been awake since 3:30 in the morning. So I've already had an 8-hour day. I'm like, oh, I'm tired again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
sleeping patterns.
Do you feel the big Q-tard bubble popping?
No, I was too angry at the Democrat delusional world they live in. But I had
but
to.
That's your new goal, to insult the Democrats as much as they did Trump, and you have the right to live to insult those Democrats. They're just as bad.
Don't you worry. The comedy show tomorrow is going to be an awesome, epic moment in time.
Right.
And but yeah, it's just the anger of like, wow, they're really so just but I learnt my Jedi ways of fear to hate to anger and all that type of stuff. So I spoke to another host from Revolution Radio, and we vented while Emperor Biden was doing his speech. I actually haven't seen it properly, but I could hear it through the Skype call, and I'm like, he said hope and unity, and all. I was like, shut up, apologize first, and then we'll move on. So it's it's like being punched in the face every day for 4 years, and it's like, everything's fine now, I'm in control. Like,
well,
that's
now you get to put on the boxing gloves or the brass knuckles, whatever you want.
Oh, a cricket bat wrapped in barbed wire. Come here,
there
son.
you go. Exactly. Could go WWE on him.
Oh yeah. He's got a chair. Whack.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's sort of it was weird. Like, I didn't want to watch the inauguration, but my body's gone, oh no, you'll be awake for this. Like, the same thing with what was the 6th of January, the electoral college things. It was like, I'm gonna go to sleep, 4 hours later. I'm still wide awake. For the love
I didn't watch any of it at all. I didn't watch any of the inauguration, any of the things at all, because I knew it was just a ritual and ceremonial observance, and the more energy you give it, the more they harvest out of you.
Yeah, but there's comical moments out of it where Lady Gaga came out as she looks like that woman from the Hunger Games. May the odds be in your favor. I'm like,
she used to wear a meat suit. Come on.
And she goes to spirit cooking. Nothing sus.
It's no different than the Super Bowls where they had Madonna come out as ISIS. Yep.
Also, when the Clintons came out and the Bushes came out, and like, wow, they look like Muppets. Like
it's because they were Muppets.
And someone made the point as well that apparently Hillary Clinton has shrunk by about half a foot, because they had a photo of her when she was all younger, and then today, and like,
no, it's actually stenosis of the spine, and she never got surgery for it. Which is representative of deep shit going wrong with her.
It colored me shocked. And Bill Clinton still looks like something sucking the life out of him, and it's not Monica. So
The cocaine monster.
Yeah. You watch Bill Clinton, the war on drugs, and we have to clamp down. It's like, well, if you stop importing the cocaine, Bill, that could help. Yeah.
Stop snorting it. Stop snorting it by the mountainful.
Yeah, tell your brother to quit. There's 50% of the drug intake.
Okay.
And then the Obamas came out, and even with the masks on, just Barry was smiling way too much. It's kind of scary. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff just going on. And someone posted a photo of it's the mall, that big, like with the reflecting pool and everything between the Capitol building and the Lincoln Memorial. That's called the mall. That today in DC, the energy is electrifying, and it's like 3 people standing in a field. So it was quite fun. And I did watch Trump do. He left the White House. He did his speech. He got on the plane. They got millions of people watching it. And then when Biden got sworn in, they got tens of people watching it. So there's comedy afoot, my friend.
Yes, there's comedy to be had. Both sides are equally corrupt.
Oh yeah. Like, I've thought about this conversation. We're going to talk about a corrupt system. Let's start there.
For you Republicans out there that followed the law of Trumpistan, guess what? It betrayed you 100%. Now deal with it.
Yeah, Trump's done his part. Unfortunately, he's had to go back to his $3 billion. He's gone to a bigger house. He's less
like Bernie Sanders.
Oh yeah, and he's that meme. Have you seen that meme of him sitting on the chair by himself with his mittens?
Mm-hmm.
That meme is everywhere. Like even John Cleese has got one where Basil Fawlty is doing the German one where if you remember that episode, Basil gets hit in the head and he's talking to Germans and he keeps bringing up World War II. In the background, there's Bernie just sitting there. I've seen it everywhere. Even in One Division, they've put it in. So that meme really needs to go away now. It's only been 48 hours, and it's like,
yeah. There's plenty more memes to come in the next 4 years.
Oh yeah, just the list of what Biden's done in 48 hours is like, oh, this is gold. This is gold. And my official stance on Q is I like Star Trek. Stop it. So that's a reference to a character in Star Trek called Q.
Who was really a trickster. If you pay attention to the episodes, he wasn't a good guy.
No, he's like a Loki sort of character, omniscient pain in the ass, and the actor who plays him is really good as in the character.
The actor's name is John Delancey.
Yes, he's in Torchwood as well. So he's very good at what he's a bit leaning left, but it's kind of
an actor that leans left. No
from
way.
Hollywood. I hope you're sitting down. Yes, an actor from Hollywood leans to the left. And so it's fascinating where I think the UN is actually calling 2021 the year of the hypocrisy. Where we've defeated fascism by having a military intervention at the DC. It's and idiots are saying, "Oh, we got rid of a dictator. What through you voted him out?" I'm not sure you know what dictate means.
Well, I have always said since Ronald Reagan, we have not had a freely elected president.
Well, yeah, you can kind of tell with the narrative now is it's going back to globalism, but I want to save some stuff for tomorrow because I'm sure we'll get 45 minutes out of what Gropey Joe has been up to. My question is, which someone actually asked many minutes ago at the start of the show, any news from old Gartha?
Oh, the vote.
Yes.
Real quick, I want to address somebody that did something in the chat room that's half capital. What should we do? Stop trusting their plan. Make a plan for yourself. Become self-illuminated. Begin a daily practice so you can fortify your reality. Use discernment and understand the awakening hasn't stopped. It's just begun. There is no one savior. You save yourself from the system of distraction that's out there. Now,
Yes, you are.
back to the vote. Okay,
Just before that, you are God, and
you are
agreements.
quote Monty, a fractal of the Prime Creator.
Yes, agreements were made. You got to point that out. You are a spirit in a human body. It's not like I can do anything. Kinda, but if you want to learn to fly, take off from the ground. Just pointing out.
Exactly. Put a cape on. Okay.
Yeah,
Now
okay.
back to the vote in Agartha. So the CEO has been replaced. The CFO is on thin ice, and the COO has been replaced. The CFO was a lizard. The CFO was, yeah.
So 2.5 out of 3.
Yes. Well, this is significant in change. The CFO has been replaced by, how do I describe it? I haven't really talked about these species. So they don't use physical bodies anymore. They live between the space of atoms, but they will manifest physical bodies when they need them to. And they are a species that lived alongside the Atlanteans about 16 million years ago.
Ooh.
They're called the Trevorans, Tevoorans, Trevorans. And they're similar to the blue beings that came in the Mahabharata, but their main purpose is to allow DNA farming as a negative aspect to be researched as positive also. So it's not all Dr. Mengele level research.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see what happens when we set this young child on fire. What are you doing? We know.
Okay. They know that the trauma-based responses will always create the DNA lineages they want. Now they want to begin experimenting on non-trauma-based experiences. Okay.
So it's very Monster Inc.
Yes, very Monster Inc. Okay. Now the COO, Chief of Operations, was a full-on lizard and has been replaced by a Syrian gray. Now, a gray is a body. Well, the soul inside it is actually a breakaway Syrian society from the original Sirius A colony. So it's technically a good guy, but it also has reached a point where science and spiritual science have reached the universal levels of understanding. So the COO is going to look at all the cows, which is us at the farm, and begin allowing branding for extended free will for the certain cows of a certain color. Okay.
Now, when you say color, you're talking melanin or
no energy color?
Okay, yeah, just clarifying.
Okay, not race. Color meaning they've absorbed 7 colors of time and have the potential of experiencing an 8th color time.
Yeah,
so they're no longer going to allow only 7 color or less experiencing things. They're going to allow people to be of 8th and 9 colors to begin to be a part of the herd.
Okay, can you branding? Can you say that another way? Because I'm getting a bit of a negative.
Yes, it is a brand, like a negative sigil, but it is a mark that tells the system to no longer attack and destroy these beings. Because before, if you experienced that color, they beat the shit out of you and targeted you. So the amount of targeted people is going to greatly reduce.
This sounds like in bigger picture. This kind of sounds part of the awakening if they're allowing positive experiments.
Well, yes, they're allowing positive experiments. It also means the mid-level apparatus from Hollow Earth now must allow reform and new thinking a part of it, where it's no longer purely lizard adrenal gland thinking.
Yeah. So it sounds a bit hopeful. Because that's going to trickle down to the 3D, obviously, where it's not going to be shit.
Yes.
Constantly. So
now the CFO position, as I said, it's on thin ice. They did an audit and they realized how much of the loosh is missing. Okay. How much of the loosh is missing, and how many of the lizards got their golden parachute as they bugged out of the solar system. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
what's going to happen is that CFO, he can't go nowhere. And the apparatus that the CFO controls is going to be looked at just like when Wells Fargo fucked everyone over. You know, the regulators are going to be very deep up his hind end.
Yep.
And are they going to look to claw that energy back? Probably not. It'll probably be the best way for the lizards to get their walking papers. You got all the loosh. All right. Now you're out of the corporation. It ain't done just yet. Fat Lady hasn't sung, but it looks that way that the lizards will take their golden parachute and run. But they're still going to try.
Yeah. So, big picture, that's still a good thing if the lizards piss off.
Yes, but they still own a lot of property here. They still own a lot of cows.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it will be a holiday casino type of scenario. Like, what are we going to do for tonight? Oh, we can visit Earth again. Yes, I know it's not pee. Thank you, Sean. It's not a tumor. It's not pee. So that's a turning point then, obviously, because if the lizards are buggering off, and with the the president of the United States being a special entity, I could see a lot of change happening because, like, you know how Hitler was a meth-addled fuckhead. You've got Biden, who is going a bit dementally loopy, and so he could actually, he's supposed to announce a program and then tell everyone the nuclear code. He may slip up, or because of his mental capacity, things are going to slip under the curtain, under the radar type thing.
Whatever slips by the radar is intentional.
Yeah.
Now, whatever we can say about Biden's mental capacity, what we saw from the Trump organization was an absolute disregardment for the old way. Trump had many leakers, many betrayers, but it hasn't been the worst White House betraying in the world. Clinton's leaked like a sieve.
Yeah.
Bush's leaked like a sieve. Way worse than Trump's. But what we'll see here is the breakdown of the power of the president. That ultimately is the greatest thing Trump has done.
Yeah.
Where the president has lost a lot of the mystical power. And that means their spells won't work no more. And like we talked about last time on the comedy show, where they broke the magical ritual inside the Senate, and they're going to have somebody repair the magic, and it's not cheap. The same thing's going to have to be done for the president.
Yeah, because that would affect obviously the CFO and all them type, because it's like, well, if that was someone allowed it to happen, the incident, I don't like, because depending certain points of view, the people trying to get in were going to stage a coup, but another view, which because the creation means the same thing, they were trying to stop a coup, and blah 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 blah. But we're just having the ramifications of, but by breaking the ceremony, I'm just going to pick numbers. It's probably 72% worth instead of 100%, because if you channel that energy, and then gentlemen, try stop peeing when you go into the toilet. Just try and stop and then start again. It's very interesting. Why?
So when it comes to the broken magic, it's understanding the president's power was glamour-based magic.
Yeah.
That allowed the easy use of powerful misdirection magic. And misdirection magic activated the patriots and the nationalism to fall into the old dogmas of the past. The president will not have that groundswell of patriotism anymore. The patriots were activated and defeated by the negative movements. They're not going to follow this president. That means this president doesn't have the power of the patriots behind him. And instead of being 100% powerful, magical president, he's maybe a 65% powerful president. And it's going to have to heavily rely on energy being given to him from the Vatican back to the war monument so that he can get back up to those higher power levels.
And you can see that in just YouTube videos where they've turned off the comments on just the inauguration. They've been fiddling with the numbers where I think it was like 3,000 likes and 13,000 dislikes, and it was only getting 300,000 views, and like the numbers are so small. compared to say like millions of people saw Trump leave and only hundreds of thousands of people saw Biden come in.
Yeah, that's like whenever Bill Gates goes on, he gets like 80,000 dislikes and 5,000 likes.
Yeah.
That's the representation of the power loft, but it also represents the Trumpers were trolling him, and good for them.
Oh yeah,
they deserved to troll him. That was their final act of middle finger. Great.
Yeah. Well, that's the side. If we go with the labels, the right, they don't burn shit down like when Trump got in and Washington's on fire. You know what the conservatives did when they lost the election? They got out of their house, got in their cars, went on the streets, and drove to work. So like the difference was like, well, hang on.
Except the one thing is they weren't wearing masks.
Well, free will.
So that's it. That's it from Hollow Earth, but there's more to come. This particular new CFO is going to have a very hard time. The Lizard CFO was ruthless, and I mean absolutely ruthless, and he inspired the Earth-based surface apparatus to follow his every whim. This new CFO is going to have to deal with these surface Earth-based who may not listen to him anymore. And he may have to expel a lot of the surface-based apparatus or learn how to use the lizard whip again.
Well, when you said, it's basically a gray, I'm going, well, that personality is going to work well.
No, the gray is the COO.
Oh, okay. All right.
The Trevorin is the CF.
All right, yeah. I just when you said Gray, I'm like, oh, that personality. Mind you, that makes sense if his operations where even a Gray in finance would work. But if you want someone with personality, maybe not go with a Gray.
Yeah, the CEO, head CEO. Anyways, that position he may not stick at it. He may get a vote of no confidence. And a lizard will try to run again, or they're going to find somebody that can have the capacity to maintain the Hollow Earth control and the surface apparatus control.
Yeah,
because as soon as Biden does his 100 days, absolutely Iran's going to be back into the throw, and World War III is going to be back on the table, because that's what the globalists have been trying to do. That play's coming back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're going to have a lot of Iranians at the high level who aren't going to follow that.
Yeah. Now, the globalists, are they sort of pawns in the Hollow Earth sort of thing? They're not, because I don't see the globalists achieving that. It's much better to have two factions sort of bickering over it, and you just can.
The globalists are the slaves to the Hollow Earth board.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The globalists now with this power change may want to stick the middle finger up and go, no, I want to be on the board down there.
Yeah. And
if so, it's like sending the Hitler SS after the SS. And we won't see it on the surface world, but we sure as hell will feel it in the astral.
Okay. Yeah, the dreams have been funny already, so it's just gonna. So basically, it's like Valkyrie, that Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. There's gonna be a lot of bombs and suitcases.
Yeah, with fabulous uniforms and neck-high, knee-high boots and all that. So yeah, and German accent.
Those Germans, one thing, they made one hell of a uniform.
Oh yeah, and brilliant with cars. Let's be fair.
That's right.
Just don't let your leader to be a meth head.
So the other thing, a lot of the religious zealotous faction, from the Zionists to the Iranians to the Sikhs to the variety of others that have been taken over at the high level, there's going to be a lot of upset surface personalities who have been used to a management style. And what happens in general when you do a big change in management style?
Layoffs, trimming, you not cut corners, sort of audits, and because I'm thinking like the old Lizard King, if we can call him that, corruption, just corruption. And so, yeah, oh, well, if they can do it, we can do it. But if you've got a new guy, it's like, well, no, we need to tighten the reins. Let's look at the budget and see where we're bleeding money. And so if someone's got a scam on the side, they're not going to be very happy about that.
Especially if they're skimming loose off the top.
Yeah. And
Okay.
10% for the big guy. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it is going to be very fascinating to see the ripple effect of where they still want to be in control, but they have to rein in the rogue elements of they want controlled corruption, not anarchy in the corruption.
Right. And then they want people to follow the new way and not pretend they're following the new way.
Yeah. It's like, what, I actually have to do this? Yes.
You actually have to implement. I don't know. Can I talk to your manager?
Oh, see, that'll be funny.
Okay.
Gonna go Karen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go full on Karen.
Can we get the old guy back?
Yeah, because a lot of these oligarchs who worship the Dark Lords down there, the Dark Lord's not there no more. He got replaced. Okay.
Yeah, excuse me. I've been praying and doing rituals for a couple of weeks now, and I haven't heard anything back. I'm just wondering.
Yes. Hi, you have reached the Dark Lord. He has been forced retired. Here's your new line to your new Lord who may not be dark.
He's more neutral, but still a very good business person.
Yes.
And
He wants to have meetings with you via Zoom.
Yes,
So-
we just want to have a quick chat about your status.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like a move like Office Space. He
Yeah.
wants to see your T reports.
Yep. So this is start of season 4.
Yes, start of season 4.
So,
Yesterday was episode 1, season 4.
Yeah, and Joe's performing quite well. So I'm holding off because
Well, as you just said, the ratings sucked for day 1.
Yeah, I know.
And what's the CFO gonna do? Why do the ratings suck? Surface apparatus.
Yeah. Hang on. Wait. Who won the election? Not Trump. Oh, you mean Joe? No. Not Trump. Trump shadow won.
Who told you to run this idiot? Why didn't the other one that had a better chance of winning run? What the hell's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, we need to have a meeting.
Yeah, we need to have a meeting, and we're going to be doing things a little different from the next 4 years.
Yeah, we've invested a lot of energy into this project, and we can't let it to fail.
Right. And since we're missing a lot of loosh, we've got to be kind of tight with our loosh controls here.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I've mentioned a couple of times the whole New World Order thing. If they want to cull the herd, I don't think the owners were very happy. What the hell are you doing?
Exactly. Cull the herd. We just spent the last 1,000,000 years making the herd bigger.
Yeah, and the COO has got this idea of actually helping, a bit of positive stuff as well. So we've got that high end happy loosh.
Got the happy cow.
Yeah, and that's going to be because I do find it funny. The New World Order, they keep making movies about like Star Wars, where a small band of rebels take over the Empire. It's like, are they trolling us, or are they giving? At some point, a small group of people will try and take over the Empire.
Right. And now they're going to be able to sell Happy Cow. It produces a whole new kind of happy loosh.
Yeah. Earth under new management.
Free range, organic, GMO, non-GMO loosh. Thank you, Sarah.
So yeah, I can see the salesman now. Oh, you've been having that Earth loosh for a while now. Well, yeah. That nasty hangover it's got? Yeah, try this new happy stuff.
Yes.
There isn't that lingering negativity in the background.
It's sugar-free loosh.
Now with slight consent.
Slight consent. Ha ha ha. Great.
Well, yeah, I have my moments. So I actually created a meme this week where it's just like, my stockbroker, there's no money in memes, and me, shit. And I've got that photo of Ben Affleck having a cigarette. It's like, oh, you're memeing up a storm. Yeah, but I have to eat. So.
So now that we've covered Hollow Earth, I think the last thing I want to talk about is the surface apparatus as we see it today. Over the next, I'll go until April 1st, between today and April 1st.
That's 100 days, isn't it?
Roughly that.
Yep.
Maybe 89, something like that. I don't know exactly. The surface apparatus is going to do whatever it can do to improve its ratings. Now, it's going to try to be like back to old Barry Hopey Changey. But too much hope and change and too many broken conspiracy theorists, it's not going to take effect. And what we're going to see is a whole bunch of really weird focus group attempts, like Hollow Earth doing a bunch of focus groups to figure out what advertising is going to work.
Yeah.
So we're going to see some really weird attempts at reigniting nationalism, patriotism, whatever they can do to get the loose production back up and the belief back into the glamour. And they're going to try to, like, if we truly see truth and reconciliation organizations, I would be really surprised, even though they hinted at it. If you do, hey, things are really going good for us. But if it's a half-assed attempt at truth and reconciliation, and it's just reconciliation without truth, and a bunch of people doing spiritual marketing, it's going to absolutely fail. And that's going to be beneficial for us. Because what has happened with the great divisiveness that was information overload, the queue not working, the military not taking over, is no one's going to believe their next shit.
Yeah, there's that whole, like, just had that thought of, like, the government's going to, look, this Malibu Stacy's got a hat. And everyone's like,
Yeah.
Like the last,
just like Linwood said, there's going to be 10 days of darkness and 10,000 posts. Or this person said that Trump is going to take over and he's secretly president. Come on. They're not going to believe it.
Yeah, it's that, the man with a stick doesn't care about your piece of paper.
Right.
Danny from the Unfuckers, or Remove the Shackles, she made the correlation of this same PSYOP was done in 2012, 2013.
Yeah, absolutely it was. She's right.
Same script.
Yeah,
and
different name.
Yeah, and that's sort of, in the bigger picture, like, everything that's supposed to happen is happening because it's awakening a lot of people, where it was so weird, like, like the whole Trump timeline narrative that certain people have. He's going to, there's going to be an election in March and blah, 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 blah. It's like, I don't feel it. Sounds awesome. If it happens, cool. Don't feel it.
But I'm willing to publicly bet $100 that it won't.
Well, if someone's got $100, go. I'm with you. That's what I mean.
I say that with my own affirmity because I remember 2012. And I remember what happened after 2012. They tried it again in 2013. They tried it again in 2014. And they tried it again in 2015. And that's whenever all the conspiracy people broke down and left the group. And a whole bunch of new people took over who didn't realize what they did in 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015. And got suckered back into the same group.
Now, that's how the narrative would work. Because people have described it as weak. Some people believe the way they're probably just accepting what's happening. It sort of feels like that they, idiots in control, ruled by psychopaths, run by idiots, that they've reset the timeline. And I don't like the actual timeline's still doing its thing, but the narrative they're trying to reset the narrative in a way. Does that make sense?
Yes, because they're going to be using the Mandela effect in a negative and positive way to restructure what actually happened during the election. And I want to recognize what Lisa B is saying. Andrew, you said in the past the election would not be fully resolved for 11 months after. I stand by that. This is what I'm stating. They're going to try to re-edit what season 3 was and try to make it like it didn't happen the way that it happened, and try to make you believe in something new and use the Mandela effect to scramble your minds.
Yeah, I think, was it Michigan? I think it was Michigan has actually come out. Are we going to do a signature audit on the votes? And on the tweet, someone's like, "It's been 3 months. Good luck with that."
Yeah, but it'll take them well over a year to do the signature audit.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah,
The actual job of a signature audit is monumental.
yeah.
Okay,
But
it's a monumental job. Yeah.
But that's that whole 11 months. Like they probably have elements of hope of like, well, look, and you may even come out this like, here's the actual evidence that Biden cheated and Trump actually won. And that's all you hear about it. They won't change a thing because it's like, oh, well, status quo. Joe's moved in and we don't want to bother him. You know, that's classic. That's Earth, where it's like, oh, it turned out that like there's actually a descendant of King Richard III. He lives in South Australia. And they with DNA, because I do find it funny, Richard III was found under a car park. So that line of a horse, my kingdom for a horse.
Exactly.
He was asked, so are you going to take the throne back? And obviously someone actually with a brain said, oh no, because if he said yes, I'm sure the Queen would have gone, wipe.
Yeah, exactly. Wipe. I want to thank Ryan for saying the Mandela director's cut release. Yes. Okay. Good way to put it. And they have done this to us before. They are masters at scrambling the truth and replacing it with semi-truth from other places, spaces, and time. And so absolutely the Mandela effect will be negatively and positively used to enforce that season 3 wasn't that bad.
How would the restructuring of the mainstream media be part of that? Because at the moment they're in a disarray where their cash cow Trump's gone and they're on decline anyway. So would it come from a different spot?
They still have the ongoing impeachment and removing Trump from the party as a ratings boost. They still have COVID that was never used as a ratings boost. Trump absolutely used COVID the wrong way. He could have used it to guarantee himself the next presidency and his children the next presidency. But he fucked it up. He fucked it up. He absolutely should have been reelected, but he fucked COVID up so bad that he couldn't do it. Biden will have to figure out, how do I make COVID the benefit for me? And he's going to have a tough time figuring it out because the news can't stop reporting death, 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 as the vaccine isn't working.
And there's elements of like the political aspects of things where one example is Amazon said, oh, we'll help with the distribution of the vaccine. And some people have gone, well, why didn't we do that 9 months ago? When, the whole, anything Trump said, they would stop.
There's a reason why this is an attack on Trump. Trump made a deal with all of the makers of the vaccine that there would be a high level of black market profiteering off of it.
Okay. Well, different, but still there's element of the political decisions about like the stimulus checks or like even now, is it Como in New York? Because Biden's in, so they're changing their stance because they didn't want to make Trump.
Well, the thing is, Biden can't reverse the stance of open up the economy. If he does, he will lose even more credibility.
That's sort of what I'm getting at, where it's like it's slowly leaking through, and it's like, well, you can't because he wants to wind back the legacy and wipe the last 4 years.
He can't do that in 6 months.
No, because it'll be too quick, and everyone's like, well, hang on. Like apparently, I saw an article. He wants to go back into Iraq with more military stuff, and it's like,
he can't because of what Trump did. Iraq has officially kicked out American troops. All that's left is the CIA and the NSA. And one airbase. And one airbase. Okay.
They play well with others.
Right. So the other thing is the vast majority of troops, I believe Biden will recall them back and then wait for another created disaster to send them in. But he can't do it until he's got the COVID giving him positive ratings. Yeah. At the same time, your actually question is what's going to happen with the news agencies.
Yes.
One of the high-level propagandists at Fox News has got to go. And it's a matter, do they give him a positive send-off? He's going to do his own show, et cetera, et cetera. And then will another one join one of the other secondary networks? That will allow Fox News to survive. but the pending lawsuits that are going to be coming against Fox News, OAN, One World, if they don't have significant political dollars backing them with full law firms, they won't survive a year.
How will that the censorship of conservatives in basic language?
It'll be far worse. But Fox News went too far. They absolutely went too far. Now they got to figure out, how do I stop the bleeding and hemorrhaging of what has happened, and yet still keep my audience of people that we've created this way? Yeah. After rebellion, you don't need your rebels anymore. And what did Hitler do with the red shirts after the rebellion? He killed them all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think I'm jumping to big tech, because like, if you've got Germany and France going, yeah, that Twitter thing's a bit much. Like, right. Well, it's
they have a lot of friends building to do, and big tech is going to have to figure out how to make a bunch of "we're sorry" videos. I'm sorry videos. Yeah, and those corporate feel-good videos that just are propaganda.
But also,
a lot of people aren't going to fall for it, because they just went through the trauma of a shitty season 3 with everyone interfering with it.
So it's similar to the Chinese culture, where they always have to save face. And when the big tech's like, oh, we went too far, and like, yeah, duh. And then they start doing all this crappy propaganda where you've seen videos like, what the hell is this? And it's too many people are awakened to that level of stuff. So, people, oh, it's the Great Awakening. It's like, no, it's not. Have you met Andrew Bartzis? Yeah. Like, you have so much more to delve into.
Right. So as they're trying to regain trust and realize that there's going to be a lot of people on the conservative side, because the self-fulfilling Fox News prophecy didn't come true. Those people are going to be going through the 5 stages of grief for quite some time. And Fox News will have to figure out how to make the recovering grief narrative, but not seem like that it is. So they've got a long job, a hard job ahead of them.
And for people like us, really shouldn't go around pointing and laughing at them, because that won't work. You'll just upset them more.
Right.
Because it'd be so easy to go, oh, you're a Trump Cooper, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's more of the bigger picture of like, I went through the same thing in 2012 where something kind of happened, but not, or, the frequency went up 1.1 of a degree. So technically did something happen, but nothing massive. Like, we're all free. Yeah, good luck with that. So there's that, I mean, obviously you haven't gone through it, but you've seen it. From my perspective, the last decade, it's date after date after date after date. And it's like, you get to your 16th date, and like, this is getting monotonous. It's that whole, there's that that coffee, that card you get from Starbucks. If you survive 8 apocalypse, you get your 9th one free.
Good way to put it.
Yeah, and and so there's a lot of, and I think there's a bit of empathy as well when you've gone through all that, where you got the hype and bang, like the one people's trust, where we're saving the planet through paperwork. It's fine, that's gonna work.
Exactly. Pedantic man.
I fill out forms so you don't have to. Like, what? So it's maybe have 24 hours, which I think you sort of did yesterday. I know I did read the post where it was a neutral post of like an actual thing of like, let's unite, move forward. But people still in the angry phase and started attacking you, and you defended yourself.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, and I even told one person to fuck off my page.
It was pure Jedi defense. Jedi uses this knowledge uses the Force for knowledge and defense, and so people were attacking Andrew. Andrew didn't attack people; he defended himself. It was, I think, the last time I checked, 123 comments, because I woke up at 3:30 and I didn't have much to do. It was a good read. Just lying in bed. Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, a lot of my responses were pure up spiritual responses about the truth, and truth is no obligation to make sense to you. You know,
Yeah.
I advise anybody that's on there right now, go to my personal page, Andrew Bartzis on Facebook, and look at that. And it's titled The Fall of Trumpistan, The Fall of the House of Trumpistan, which is a play on words for the fall of the House of Usher. And it
Yeah.
says, quote the Raven, nevermore, followed up by, we can't attack these people. They're going through the 5 stages of grief. No one movement is going to make the ground, no make one movement. No one is the savior. All movements create the groundswell of change.
Yeah, and I do find it. Oh, but you know, a lot of people. Oh, you've shown your true colors. I'm leaving. It's like goodbye. But another recurring one is like, but once you've seen the truth, you can't turn back, and all this type of thing. It's like, well, truth is kind of perspective, and it's like me saying the best heavy metal record of all time is Metallica, Master of Puppets, and for you, it could be
Black.
The Black Album. Yeah, you're wrong. No, it's a joke. But you know,
actually for me, it's the one that they did with the San Francisco Orchestra.
Oh, S&M. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the point where it's like it is. You know, there's a truth, but the way the Prime Creator works in all creation, the truth is. Well, that's about it, really. It's your truth. Where it's like arguing with a flat earther. It's like because I do my radio show. Oh, the Earth's flat. The Earth's round. We live in a hologram, and that shuts them both up.
It shuts them up fast. Yeah.
So, like, if you see it's a placebo universe, and so if you believe the Earth is flat, you'll see that through your prism of experience and reality. I'm more of a pretzel one, just because I want to see how creation twists into that. Like, take that, you bastard!
Yeah, as you dip it into mustard.
Yeah, or a hint of chocolate. So it is kind of fascinating, but I guess a recurring lesson to me is like. You know how I said watching the Ip Man films where I loved it 20 minutes in where he's fighting 20 guys, but he's in that moment of Zen. I keep getting reinforced from the universe of like, you remember your Jedi training. You don't just stay in that 0 point, that Zen where, chaos can go on all around you, but you're calm and fully aware. Yeah, as
exactly.
An example. Yeah,
and you get to turn your new Jedi skills into Jedi memeing.
Oh yes, I'm memeing up a storm.
Yeah,
but it's like quickly just explain to people when you're angry, that energy takes up a lot. Like if you've got say 20% headroom of experiencing things, when you're angry, it takes up so much, and it narrows your view of.
When you reach a high level of anger, it takes up everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
angrily easily puts you into obsessive mode, which then occupies all of your energy so that the anger never goes anywhere.
Yes, and it's like a laser focus where you're so angry, it's like you get 0 point, an atom point of pure anger. And if someone on the outside's going, well, no, it's all right, you're completely oblivious to it.
Absolutely. And when you're oblivious to how much your anger is affecting you, it absolutely degrades your soul.
Yeah, which is fun when the universe is like, you have those spiritual ego. I'm doing well. I've learned all my lessons. Today's a great day. And then you stub your toe and you swear.
I want to address something in the chat room. Michael Lawrence, CDC site shows blah, 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 blah. So fucking what? It's a lie. Have you not accepted that in the last 4 years the government lies to you? Stop quoting it. Stop regurgitating. Stop following their plan. Discover your own plan. You'll be far more free and far more capable of using your genius to create something for yourself that isn't regurgitating other people's lies.
And interesting thing is, like, there are people dying. We don't know if it's from COVID, but if you look at the numbers, it's roughly the same.
Right.
For the general public, the thing is, it's the media's focusing on it finally, where flu season and influenza, it is kind of amusing. I saw an article, scientists baffled that influenza has disappeared.
Yes, baffled because their bullshit isn't flying.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's sickening enough that 33,000 people die a day and blah, 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 and most can be prevented. But the media is focusing on it, and it's helped a certain agenda go forward.
I want to address Michael Lawrence. It's not for me, it's for others. That is a martyr. You're martyring yourself. Listen to what I'm saying, Michael. You're martyring yourself. The more effort you try to give away this information, the more people ignore it. And that's what you're going to run to even more. No one wants to hear it anymore. Season 3 was so bad and so much information that turned out false. People just plain ignoring it.
So
give yourself, give yourself a break from it. It's always going to be there.
Yeah. And the whole martyr thing, I'm a Pisces, and I've done the whole martyr thing, and it's tiring over what, like, it's not working. It reminds me, this is a joke, everyone, but I'm going to write a book about Jesus Christ called What's the Martyr? Yeah, what's the martyr, Jesus?
This. How do I taste?
Cannibalism, you sick. So some people have said that we actually, the world today is in a good place. I mean, obviously, there's if you focus on politics and everything else, but if you go outside, for me, go outside. The only thing I know that something's up is people have to wear masks when they're inside a cinema or a supermarket and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Apart from that, it's just normal day-to-day type of thing. You've got council workers in the background giving out parking tickets, so that sort of energy sucking strata of the systems there, but also it's breaking down because Joe Biden, there's no enthusiasm for Joe Biden as an example. And his ratings suck. Do you think will they just work on Joe's PR, or will they take that drastic step of getting Kamala to become president?
It depends what actually plays out with the Republicans in the Senate.
Okay.
Now, I want to answer Jackie Iara in the question, and it goes with what you were saying. I agree with you, Andrew, but what do you think about people who have gotten intensely sick? Do you think COVID exists? Just curious of your thoughts. I have stated since January in 2020, COVID is real, but they know absolutely nothing about it. And the current existing American Medical Association science has no way to define what kind of sickness that it is. And that there are people absolutely dying. I know plenty of people have gotten deathly sick and ill and died from this. People are dying. But the American Medical Association cannot define what this sickness is. It's so beyond the existing fake science that technology that's beyond science will have to be introduced, and the management system, the CEO, COO, will have to figure out how to change the farm, but to keep them still under the technological control. So that means at some level, a free energy system will have to be created so that they can make a new vaccine that requires more power output than the entire world uses in 20 years.
Yeah. Also, while Andrew was talking, and I smiled, if you saw me do that, I wasn't smiling at what Andrew was saying. I made a connection in thought, and now it's gone. Damn it. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Like all of us, Andrew and my friend Melissa, like we can't go to the medical profession and say, COVID's a time-traveling karma resolution virus.
Right.
They'll just look strangely at us. Like,
right.
Oh, what?
Right. And the alternative therapists that know about trauma, that know about ancestral karma, that know about spirit have to be introduced into medical science. And that right there is a big breakthrough for humanity. Now, it's a matter of how long they're going to wait, because the virus will get worse and worse and worse until they figure out what alternate science that is not allowed in science is allowed in, or what piece of technology that we can use, that we can bring in, that, yes, once we introduce it, it'll be a radical change for science itself. But right now, they don't want to do that.
Oh, no, Big Pharma's making a mint. And also, multiple ways of how that would unfold. It won't be just, everyone's dying, because you could just still have a small group of people dying, which affects the medical system because it's so small and crap, and it could be slightly overrun. And if they do the lockdowns, just the ramifications of lockdowns, be it overdoses, suicides, just all the other, the 20 other things that have happened apart from getting COVID. If all that is going on as well, like in a basic way, we have to open the economy up so it can survive. So I could see that being a true, you can see what I'm saying, where it's just not going to be 4 million people have died, we'll bring in this technology. It's because 4 million people have died and it's affecting hundreds of millions of people.
It'll be a 20 million people died before they think about bringing that technology in.
Yeah. Now, is there a time frame, or it could be?
No, it's the amount of deaths versus rating. Death versus rating. And absolutely, Joe's Plan Triple Z has introduced the technology, but they're going to try everything else under the sun before they do that. Now, I want to answer another question from the chat room. Here's one from Santo. 1 second here. Does that piece of technology already exist in society and just not being accepted / acknowledged? Absolutely, it does, but it requires spirituality to blend with non-allopathic medicine, and it requires allopathic medicine to accept spirituality so that they can understand what a karmic debt virus is. Meaning there is a way to measure the energy in a human being that has this energy that will attract this virus. And there is a way to create a spiritual vaccine that is non-chemical so that people can be positively vaccinated against this virus. They're not ready to introduce that type of consciousness technology. And there also is other technologies that is in the secret space programs that can literally teleport the virus out of you instantaneously, as if you've never had the virus. And it continuously teleports you out, like doing blood transfusions.
Yeah.
And they do this on other worlds. But they're not going to introduce that technology because it would radically upset science.
Oh yeah, big pharma. You could like. I saw a video, and I'm 99% sure it's 100% real, if I can say it that way. Have you seen it where it's in China, and 3 Chinese people, they basically do a ceremony, or they chant, or they manifest, and you can actually see the cancer tumor slowly decrease.
Mm-hmm. They've known this for 50 years.
Yeah.
They've also known that hyperbaric chambers can cure diabetes.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of things out there that science will not allow into modern allopathic medicine.
Yeah.
And if they just allow consciousness healing, hyperbaric chambers, and a variety of other psychic healing skill sets to be a part of the teaching society of doctors, and remove insurance carriers from telling doctors how to run their business, the whole world can be healed.
Yeah. I find it fascinating. Like, most of this stuff is known in pockets. Like, the general public's been told about it at least once and they've ignored it, which, my mind explodes of what are the 5,000 patents that have been secured because they're a national security thing. Like, well, what is in that if we've got all this stuff that because people have made cars run on water. Yep. If cars could run on salt water, we'll be totally sweet because we've got some of that. I think 70%
what if cars can run on free energy broadcast to the atmosphere that has no effects on the human body or consciousness?
Oh yeah, well
Tesla created that in the 30s.
Yeah, I know. I like freaking people out by going, did you know Nikola Tesla invented the remote control boat? Ooh, in 1895. What?
Right. Okay. Our controlled science community is going to have a grand reckoning when politics and the Hollow Earth CFO have to figure out how to implement a new plan.
I can't explain it, but I can see that they still will have control over the farm, and it just makes sense if the slaves don't know they're slaves and they're happy, that you can pause, if that makes sense, and you can draw it out for 1,000 years. But where we're at, where there's this constant punching in the face, people notice that. It's like, bang, stop that, bang, what are you doing, bang. So
it's like somebody in the chat room, Eileen Sully said 6 cows are not good for business.
Yeah, especially when you've got a whole galaxy to service.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like Disney and Star Wars. That cow's dry. You need to
exactly. That cow's dry.
You need to recuperate.
Now, on a side note, Disney, HBO Max, they're losing their subscribers in mass because nobody wants to wait 6 months for the next fucking Marvel video to come out with their crappy selection of stuff they've already all watched.
Yeah,
Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean with Disneyland not being open? Disney's going to have to figure out really, 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 really fast how the streaming generation is going to work in the next 6 to 7 months. Or you can see a major restructuring at all the streaming industries.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, they're to keep people on the streaming platforms, they're not releasing physical media. Because Mandalorian 1 hasn't been released, and you're already up to 2, and some other stuff. The thing is, like, when you're streaming, you're renting. That's all it is. Like, oh, I've got a copy of the Mandalorian. Yeah, but Disney can turn off your box and you can lose your entire account. They did that with Jesse Ventura's conspiracy show.
Yep.
If you remember, that was one of the first ones, where I think it was the JFK episode that people saved it on their set-top box or whatever it was. And then the next day it came back and it was gone because the central hub removed the episode from all the individual boxes. So physical media, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, physical media. So the next thing I want to touch on before we end this show is short-term broken personalities like in that post that were just attacking because I didn't agree with their point of view. We're going to see a lot of that. And I defended myself in that post, like you said. And I used my Jedi mind tricks to not attack back until somebody went beyond the level and I said, fuck off my page. Okay. Yeah. And then I called another person a right-wing snowflake. And somebody was so offended that Spiritual Andrew is called somebody a right-wing snowflake that they said some nasty ass things.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to see a lot of that. Don't take their shit, but also don't stay in the fight too long. Yeah. Learn how to block, learn how to unfriend. And if you've got those people in your feed that are stuck in their echo chamber, get them out of your feed. Yeah. Allow their world to narrow on them. That's the greatest gift you can do to them. Let them be in their own echo chamber and don't allow their waves of energy into your reality.
Yeah, because you cut off the energy mining on you, and once you've severed that, you can do what you like with your energy, expand and resonate and find better people. So, and this is from a hermit, ladies and gentlemen. I know I have to leave the house Sunday.
Yes. All right, Monty, we're at the end of the show. Why don't you give a way for people to get a hold of you?
Well, in this moment of now, I'm still on Twitter, at Real Monty Dean, on Instagram as Monty.Dean, on Facebook as Monty.Dean.5, for I am the 5th generation. And YouTube is a Wafer Thin 1 or Wafer Thin Entertainment. And you can catch me on this small show here on the Galactic Historian every fortnight doing comedy, which is tomorrow.
Tomorrow. We have a comedy show from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. Get out there and spread it far, spread it wide. Come to get the serious stick removed out of your ass. We intend to defend and we'll be taking the piss out of everyone. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. comedy show. Take us away, Robert.
Each different bubble of reality is true.
A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma.
Nudge, nudge, it's the Holy Grail.
Improvise.
Mysterious. It's counter psychic intelligence.
Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important?
Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality.
Hello, let's create, let's co-create, and let's change this world with love. No matter if you're from Alpha Centauri or Earth, we all began with the same birthing process. We live in a limited point of view. Living the mystical life daily is about striving for the unlimited point of view. Each day, each human being gets an infinite amount of choices. Living the mystical life daily is about facing obstacles and challenges. The level of awareness that you are working at means you have a responsibility to be equal with it. How does one truly let go of expectation? You can make the moment that you wake up to the moment you go to sleep
I thought it
sacred.
was an excellent show. I loved the intensity of the callers in the beginning.
keys to success.
And the healing aspect of everything
Choice,
that was going
choice, choice,
on. And
and
I
choice.
think what you guys just razzed about is going to be an excellent lead into, it gives me a taste of what tomorrow's show is going to be. One sec, I got to finish things here.